to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
He steps to the mic with a boom, ping, ping. Wisdom sharper than a beast's fierce sting. Words like fireflies that light the night. He turns the dark into blazing bright. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, oh, the airwaves king. Shake the ground, unveils the truth where lies abound. Politics, justice, social streams. He molds the chaos into dreams. No silence here, just the sound of change. Boom, ping, ping, rearrange. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, or the airwaves king. Through the static, through the noise, he amplifies the people's voice. Boom, ping, ping, like a heartbeat's call. He's got the wisdom to break down walls. Yeah. Da, 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 da.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. Today is Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. Today is election day, but not in Wisconsin. I was a little disappointed when I read a social media post yesterday where someone said, okay, Wisconsin, what are we voting for tomorrow? I don't know why I got as disappointed as I did. At least people are cognizant that somebody somewhere is going to vote. Because typically my issue is we'll have an election coming up and people don't know that we have an election. I think that because there's been so much talk about the Proposition 50 in California and the New Jersey governor's race and the Virginia governor's race, this technically is the first midterm race in the United States of America. Now, granted, it is a full year before the actual midterm election in November of 2026. But this is the first time some states are going back to the polls to vote since Donald Trump got elected. Now, to me, it seems that everything that is happening in this country is a referendum on Donald Trump because he has put his fingerprints all over state governments by sending in National Guard troops that weren't asked for, by not cooperating with the opposition party and finding a reasonable solution to do two simple things: make sure that people's food subsidies go uninterrupted, and that we can maintain the Affordable Care Act subsidies that exist when it comes to health care, instead of the president canceling an overseas trip, he planned one while the government was shut down. And at the same time, he had a Halloween party that showcased the opulence of his and his friends. So he's a man who is incredibly out of touch. So one way that Americans can fight back, other than going out into the streets and protesting and participating in polls where you can give your opinions on the presidential's approval, is they can go out and they can vote in these gubernatorial elections. So my prediction is this. We're probably going to get a little bit more into it as the show goes on. I also have a list of things that we'll be voting for starting in February of 2026. So basically 3 months from now, we will actually be casting votes in the state of Wisconsin. So I do want to preview some of those elections just so we can be ready. And to the lady that posted on Facebook yesterday, what are we voting for today? Nothing. You're not going to vote for anything today. That's not until February, but maybe I should be happy that there's people interested and excited about going and casting some votes. I think the Democrats do a clean sweep. Virginia is an interesting state. So Glenn Youngkin is the current Republican governor of Virginia. Virginia is they're a state that will always be the opposite of the president that is in office. So when Joe Biden was in office, Virginia's elected Glenn Youngkin, a Republican. So whatever party is in the White House, Virginia typically does the opposite. But there's something really interesting about this Virginia gubernatorial race. So Donald Trump needs Republicans to win all over the country so that it's easier for him to enact whatever his ideas, thoughts, and policies are for those states when you have a Republican governor, because right now nobody challenges Trump on literally anything. So it makes Trump's life a lot easier if there are Republican governors. Now, there's a black woman. Her name is Winsome Earl Sears. If that ain't a black Virginia woman's name, I don't know what it is. Winsome Earl Sears is the Republican candidate for governor in Virginia. Now, here's the thing. Virginia, it's right there. It borders on Washington, D.C. If there is a place in which Donald Trump can have outsized influence, it's on the People's Commonwealth of Virginia, probably one of the oldest governments in the United States of America. Virginia's government about 406 years old. Old government. Washington, D.C. borders Virginia. You probably have, I don't know, couple 100,000 federal workers and Pentagon employees that live in Virginia. Is right there bordering Washington, D.C. But that also solidifies the thing that I've always said, and most people tend to disagree with me when I say this. Washington, D.C. is in the South. It is, if it was a state, it would be a southern state. Washington, D.C. borders nothing but slave states. So keep that in mind when you think about the people that we send to Washington, D.C. We send people to the southern United States to govern the entire nation. I think there's something incredibly symbolic about that. But Winsome Earl Sears is the Republican candidate for governor. But here's what's so fascinating about that. She's a black African-American Negro black lady. Trump is not endorsing her. Trump is endorsing and raising money for and talking about and promoting every other Republican that is running for office everywhere in this country. And, of course, Donald Trump is opposing Proposition 50 in California, which I find probably more impactful than any of these gubernatorial races. That is the ballot referendum that allows Gavin Newsom and the Democrats to take Republican representation in California and turn it into Democratic representation by allowing the governor to draw new congressional district boundaries. And I say, go for it. I say, do it. Democrats need more representation in Congress anyway. They need to expand their majorities whenever they get them anyway, because I'm going to say this objectively. Republicans have lost their ability to lead because of the whole SNAP benefits thing where they are starving their own people. And they know they're starving their own people because the majority of the people that receive the SNAPs and the food stamps benefits wear SPF 50 and wear their Crocs in sport mode. You can't lead if you were willing to starve your own people and your own people's children to prove a point to own the liberals. That's just pathetic. You shouldn't be in government. However, I digress. Proposition 50 will allow California, which is the biggest and the bluest state in the country, to create more Democratic districts as a hedge to what Donald Trump is ordering other governors to do in states like Texas and Missouri et cetera, et cetera. So now, in the meantime, I think it's a good idea, but in the long view of how we create district maps, I think it's a bad idea because the next Republican president is going to follow suit and want to create more Republican districts, just like Gavin Newsom is doing in California. So I think it starts an unusual and unfortunate precedent, but it is what we have to do in the meantime. So we're going to be watching those election results. But the other thing, though, is if Trump needs Republicans to win, isn't it blaringly obvious when he is not endorsing the African-American woman who is running as a Republican? So she's the current lieutenant governor in Virginia. She is the incumbent. Incumbency has a lot of weight. There's something about if somebody is currently in office and they run for re-election, well, this is a bit of a promotion for Winsome Earl Sears. She's the current lieutenant governor, and she is running for governor, so a bit of a promotion. But the people in the Commonwealth of Virginia, they've already elected this woman statewide. You would think it'd be an easier win, but Donald Trump is not electing her. Now, this is not me saying Donald Trump is not endorsing the black woman candidate because she's a black and a woman. Actually, yes, 100% it is. And I'm not going to inquire of a Donald Trump supporter, especially a black one, how they feel about Donald Trump, who needs to have complete and total control of the Republican Party, because if he loses control of it, that's his legacy. That's going to be more impeachments. Maybe they finally get it right and they get an indictment to stick on this dude and he spends the rest of his life in jail. All of those things are possibilities if the Republican Party begins to dissolve and Democrats get more political power and they really hone in on bringing justice to this particular president. But him knowing all of that and then still not endorsing the black woman running as a Republican in the state of Virginia, which is just right outside of Washington, D.C., where he works and is building that ballroom, only points to one thing. Now, I'm not going to ask a Donald Trump supporter, especially a black one, to explain that or justify that, because they're always going to come up with an excuse. And the excuse is probably going to be, well, Barack Obama will joke. Shut up. That's why I can't even talk to him no more. But I think that it's examples like that that show the true intentions of the current president of the United States. If he needs Republicans to win everywhere, if he needs Republican governors in every single state, if he needs more Republicans in the Senate, if he needs more Republicans in the House, one way in which you can do that, you can ensure that your political party wins legislative seats, even in state legislatures, is you make sure that there is a governor of that state that's the same party as you. But his refusal to endorse the black woman tells us everything we need to know. That's number one. Number two, at least in his first term, there was some intentional effort to throw breadcrumbs at the black community. There was whatever money or whatever he signed that gave whatever dollars to historically black colleges and universities, which is a bit of a misnomer because Congress approved that money. A Democratic Congress approved that money. Donald Trump just said, okay, I'm going to allow the HBCUs to get this money. But he used that and promoted that he was supporting African-American education. During his first term, he had Omarosa. Remember Omarosa, who used to be on The Apprentice? Kind of like the Candace Owens before Candace Owens. She was a senior advisor to the president. She's gone now. You had Ben Carson. Remember Ben Carson, old sleepy Ben Carson? Ben Carson, who was always falling asleep and drifting off during all of those Republican debates. Donald Trump selected him to be his Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. There's no more Ben Carson anymore. I do think that there is a black African-American Negro black person who is the acting director of HUD, but she's being very intentional in this second term, Trump is, to distance himself from African-Americans because he doesn't even need to show us that he is willing to support us or reflect us or our sentiments anywhere in his government. And I'm glad he's doing it. I'm real glad, because then it makes my explanation of him and who he is as a person a hell of a lot easier. So I'm going to take a break, come back. Going to talk to Brandon at 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. Today is election day. Also, Wisconsin becomes the 36th state to limit cell phones in schools. I don't agree with that. Not only do I not agree with that, I think that we need to go further. Let these kids have these cell phones in the schools. You can tell them to put the phone away. Don't have the phone out in class, don't be texting people the answers and be cheating and looking at the Google while you're taking the test. Don't do that now. But these children need to have access to the outside world when they're in these schools. But I also have an idea and a proposal that goes even further than allowing the children of a certain age. A 7-year-old don't need a cell phone in the schools. But maybe about 4th grade or 5th grade, maybe. But I want to take things a step further because I don't know how safe our children are in schools, whether it be safe from one another or from some of the adults. So I have an idea, a supplement to safety in schools. We'll talk about that on the other side as well. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. The Milwaukee Panthers hit the road as they head to South Carolina to take on the Wooford Terriers.
McKee for 3, ring it up. They do it again out of a timeout. AJ from downtown. McKee buries it, 71-66. Panthers down a handful.
Scott Warris has the coverage Saturday starting at 12:30 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 1 o'clock.
Tracy, going back to the process, and as it relates specifically to the partnership that Old National Bank has with Housing Resource, what does the process consist of when coming through this program?
It's a referral process. We work with clients that first-time homeowners that may not have the counseling that they need. They may not have the equity, the down payment that they need. So we refer them to our partners like HRI or Housing Resources, Inc., because we recognize that those organizations, they have the resources, they have the tutorial documentation and all of those things that are necessary for first-time homeowners that don't know the process, may not know the system, may not know what's required for home ownership. So working with Housing Resources, Inc. and other partnerships that we have like through WIDA has been very, very advantageous, not only for us, but also the organizations, but also for the community.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Eight 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017 is our telephone number. Let's talk to Brandon. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well as well.
Hey, I'm doing all right. What's on your mind?
Yeah, so I had some comments in regards to the Virginia governor's race.
Okay.
You was asking for a black Republican maybe to reach out, and I must say that Donald Trump would likely not support Colin Powell or Condoleezza Rice. And it's not because they're black. It's because you as many other folks know that MAGA Republicans are a very separate and distinct subset of Republicans that have taken power of the Republican Party, but they are not your Robin Vos or Scott Walker type of Republican. And this is why Ms. Sears didn't likely receive his support.
Do we know if she sought his endorsement? That's number one. Number two, I want to believe you that MAGA is a subset, but non-MAGA Republicans are not pushing back on this president. They are not standing up to him. They are not providing their own policy positions. They are not defining themselves as different from him. They are not saying that we need to make sure that our children are fed with SNAP benefits. So while in theory there may be a difference, none of them are standing. Well, then political suicide is what you got to commit, because these people are servants of the voters. And so if they're going to save their careers to be supportive or be quiet on being separate than MAGA, then we see them as the same. You may see them differently.
I agree.
We, those of us who are not in the cult, see it as different.
Can I respond?
Absolutely.
I agree with your premise that they're no better than a MAGA Republican if they're unwilling to stand up and fight for things that they believe in. But with the same things said. On the other hand, you've got Democrats who do the same thing about choice. You've got Democrats who do the same thing about border control. You've got a number of Democrats that have sat on their hands for SNAP benefits because they don't necessarily have the political will or the political skill to make their sense be known and draw the ire of
Explain to me,
deep state
Democrats, because I want to follow your analogy here, but you kind of take me on a loop now. So where are Democrats divided on something like SNAP benefits when it's the majority of the people that are getting SNAP benefits are white Republicans? So tell me where the Democrats actually agree almost universally. In fact, I'm going to say universally, the SNAP benefits need to be extended even though the program benefits the voters of their political opposition.
Okay, so I think I might have misspoke with the SNAP, but I think school choice would be an excellent political situation to examine where it's divisive for Democrats because they are, big proponents of union and public schools.
That's a local issue, Brandon, because in other parts of the country, you have Democrats, especially in the South, almost universally in the South, Democrats do support school choice. As a matter of fact,
may I choose another one? What about Palestine?
I need you to make
Israel?
some kind of example because we're running out of time here, brother. Come on, give me another example.
Okay, I'm sorry. Palestine and Israel. There's a number of Democrats who want to come out in support of Palestine, but cannot because it would be political suicide.
That's an international issue. I would rather it be something that relates to America and American economies and American jobs and American kids being fed and American education.
But
if you have to go outside of the country,
I can't think on my feet that well.
Well, that's because there are no. Now, it's not about you not thinking on your feet because you're actually doing a good job. The examples that you're trying to equate don't exist. There is nothing even remotely comparable to a Republican that says they are anti-MAGA and a Democrat that is anti-establishment. Because here's what the Democrats do. The left wing of the Democratic Party, which is going to win the mayor's race in New York, is extremely vocal against moderate Democrats and more conservative Democrats. MAGA Republicans rule the roost, and more sensible Republicans stay silent. The Democrats raise holy hell when the left flank is upset about something, economic policy, letting billionaires run the country. They speak up. In fact, they will devour their own incumbents. MAGA Republicans will continue to win, and more centrist, more moderate Republicans will just sit there and stay silent.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, thank you, Brandon. I appreciate your call. Well, I guess that's why the black Republicans don't call me. I wanted to give them a chance. Was I mean? I try not to be mean, but you got to have your ducks in a row now. When you call it, I want to hear a good political comparison. Do the Democrats stand down in the face of Democrats that have an agenda that some more liberal Democrats cannot stand? There's a whole bunch of pro-Palestinian, more left-leaning Democrats that cannot stand the Democrats that are pro-Israel, and they protest. Let me tell you how I know they protest, because I see them carrying Palestinian flags, okay? What you're not going to see is more reasonable, decent, moderate, dare I say, may he rest in peace, never thought I'd be saying that, about Dick Cheney, who was once a war criminal, but then came on over and endorsed Kamala Harris. Those Republicans won't show up to a Trump rally. So moderate, reasonable Republicans, and they're out there, because I know a bunch of them. They're good people. They're just scared of their own party, okay? They won't show up to a Trump rally, the moderate centrist Republicans, with an American flag, because people that are showing up at a Trump rally with Trump flags would beat the physically beat the ones that showed up with an actual American flag. Moderate, centrist, reasonable Republicans that want the government open and want Affordable Care Act subsidies extended and didn't want any interruption in SNAP benefits are scared of the MAGA Republicans. They're afraid of them. There is nobody in the Democratic Party that's afraid of another Democrat, unless it's the more centrist, status quo, moderate Democrats that are tiptoeing around the Israel issue. Well, let me tell you how I feel about Israel. I feel about Israel the way Israel feels about me. Ain't got nothing to do with me. I ain't never been to Israel. I don't need to go to Israel. That is not my foreign policy. My foreign policy is right here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I don't care about much outside of that. Other than selling Racine, that's pretty much the only thing that I'm concerned about. Let's talk to Brian. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm going to give you one example. This is the only politician that was a Democrat party, and that was Russ Feingold, I believe. He was one of the only politicians that I can remember in recent times that stood against some of the things that his own MAGA Democratic Party was for. I can't think of anybody else that stood against that party.
But think about this for a second. Russ Feingold he lost 15 years ago. That's not even a recent example. Russ Feingold lost during Barack Obama's first midterm election, so that example that you brought up is void.
Yeah, well, I can't think of anybody else.
Because there aren't any, because Democrats believe in democracy to a higher level than Republicans do. If there is something, the New York mayor's race with Mamdani, who is a complete Democratic socialist to the highest degree, he is bucking the rest of the Democratic Party. In fact, he is promoting a kind of democratic socialism that will get Democrats to lose all over the country, but he does not care because the Democratic Party is not afraid to push back on itself because the needs of the people in New York might be lending itself more toward democratic socialism, and he very well may win. In America, a non-MAGA Republican could never get elected. We would at least elect a Democratic socialist because there's diversity in our party. There's no diversity in the Republican Party, but I do appreciate your call, Brian.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize that it's important for government to be empathetic, have empathy, period.
You're just starting to realize that. Brian, can I ask you how old you are, brother?
63.
Okay. Appreciate your call. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, then. Now, Brian. Brian said at the age of 63 that governments need to be empathetic. We fund governments with our money. And there are some things the individual American people cannot do. I'd rather pay property taxes instead of having to take my garbage to a damn burn pit 30 miles outside of the city once a week to get rid of my garbage. Look, I got a little snow blower from a driveway, but I'd rather pay property taxes so that the big Department of Public Works trucks can plow my streets. Look, I like to stop at stop signs and stop lights. Some of y'all don't. I like to go at green lights, and I need those lights to work. I can't get up on no ladder and change the traffic lights every time they go out. I'm okay paying property taxes for that. So the reason why we pay our taxes is so that the government can take care of things on our behalf. Governments have to have empathy. I'm just shocked that the man realizes that at 63, and it makes me wonder how many bad political decisions. And I'm not picking on you, Brian. I appreciate you. You're having this political about face. But I wonder how many poor decisions he has made electorally and those like him his entire life, and thinking that governments either shouldn't have empathy or you vote for a candidate or a party to punish who you think your opponents are. That is not how we're supposed to use this system. If you don't like somebody for whatever reason, that's a you problem. But for you to weaponize American politics to hurt and to harm people that you don't like, whether it be black people or women or gays or migrants, is why we are where we are, number one. Number two, when you weaponize your politics because you want to hurt this other group that you don't like, that other group is going to come back and hurt you. It is a guarantee. It is a foregone conclusion. If you weaponize politics, the weapon formed will prosper against you. I'm going to take a break, come back, and talk to the town on the other side. I'm hoping that the Democrats make a clean sweep because then maybe they can begin the rebuilding process. Now, what happens in the city of New York is going to be a spectacular moment in American political history because in the largest city in the country, electing a Democratic socialist may motivate the more left-wing section of the Democratic Party to become a little bit more bold in their policy ideas. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be back shortly.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Host an unforgettable outing and create special memories with your crew at a Milwaukee Bucks game. Groups of 10 or more can score ticket savings, block seating, and take part in special activities on game days. Showcase your team's talents on center court, score a high five from the pros, and more. There are great options for groups of all sizes. Start planning your ultimate Bucks basketball game day experience today at bucks.com/groups. That's bucks.com/groups.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Here is Sherwin Hughes with his truth.
You ever notice how the phrase 9 to 5 sounds just so old school? That's because in 2025, the 9 to 5 is as outdated as a rotary phone. Let's be real. The world has changed, and the way we work has changed with it. The gig economy is booming. Folks are making money on their own terms, driving Ubers, delivering DoorDash, freelancing, and side hustling their way to the bag. And then there's the work-from-home revolution. People are clocking in from their kitchen tables, their favorite coffee shops, or even the beach. Laptops open, pajamas on, productivity up. The virtual office is now the new corner office, and the only commute is from the bed to the desk. Let's not forget about the digital nomads, those bold souls who turn the world into their workplace. They're sending emails from Bali, closing deals in Barcelona, and living life on their own schedule. No time clock, no cubicle, just Wi-Fi and a dream. And 21st century entrepreneurship, well, it's a whole new game. You can launch a business from your phone, build a brand on Instagram, and make more in a week than some folks do in a month without even punching a clock. So who's still working that old 9 to 5 job? People who are resistant to change or maybe just can't adapt. The future belongs to the flexible, the creative, the hustlers who know how to make technology work for them. The 9 to 5, well, that's a museum piece. The real action is happening outside the box, where freedom and opportunity are just a click away.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I told you we should ride with the windows open. How you gon' roll if you scared it doja? Kept you on the side, tried to keep it kosher. Play on, play on.
Our telephone number is 833-212-1017. It's not a good idea to try and find an equivalent between this incarnation of the Republican Party, which has been stolen, which has been hijacked, which has been dethroned, I'm going to say, from once a glorious party to something that is afraid of its own shadow and afraid of its own people. The MAGA section of the Republican Party is the majority of it. It's not a weird offshoot. It's not a couple of extremists. It is what the party is. In fact, it is so incredibly powerful. It dictates the policies in districts where MAGA understandings were never popular, and it has now overtaken the country. Ultimately, MAGA policy says if you have a leader, you follow him blindly, even in his bad decisions. You praise him. You do whatever he says, even if it's illegal, even if it's unconstitutional, even if it will get your ass indicted, and you pray. You pray that that leader will get you out of trouble. But you have to forsake democracy. You have to forsake the Constitution. You have to forsake your own damn friends and family. You have to forsake your own voters to give your support to a single man that does not care about anything I just mentioned. Democrats know better than that. That is textbook fascism. Now, Democrats got some weirdos now, but even the weirdos in our party make good points every now and again. Even the broken clock is right twice a day. Ain't that right? The Town. You're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I ain't the clock, and I ain't broke.
Oh, all right. That's
but
okay.
But I would say that I think half of your you talking about the Republicans is accurate. I don't think the other half is right, and this is why I say that, because they have not been hijacked. They have not been hijacked. The Republicans wanted this the whole live long day. They've been wanting this. They've been wanting to cut off the SNAP benefits. They just couldn't find a person that's willing to go to the end.
Not
like
all of
Donald
them.
Trump.
You will find that throughout the last few election cycles, Republicans in Congress have voted to maintain and extend SNAP benefits. In fact, they did it through a farm bill, which also legalized marijuana. So no, Republicans have not always wanted to cut out SNAP benefits, because you got some rural Republican districts where 75% of the people in that district and 80% of the voters are on SNAP. So absolutely, they have wanted to maintain SNAP. That's their program.
Let me push back on that. Yes, 75% of the people use the SNAP benefits, and before they can do it. They couldn't do it because they would be out of a job quickly. Now, listen, this is the important part. Now, with Donald Trump, you have somebody that can take the heat for that. So instead of doing what normal politicians do and say something say something slick or try to spin it or whatever like that and use some numbers in their favor, they don't have to do that work anymore. They can just be like, well, MAGA, Trump, because they know that Trump is going to be a foil. Trump is going to be a blocker for all that stuff. And side note, after the SNAP, you know where they going next?
Where?
They're going for the Social Security, sir. They're going for the Social Security. They never liked this stuff. Now, about Democrats, what I don't like about Democrats, and like I'm on the Democratic team, I'm on their team. Get that out there. But what we do so bad is we make up excuses and we block reasons. And we're like, well, the Republican Party was such a great party. It's a great party. No, it was never great. They was always taking. They were always taking from the poor.
No, they weren't.
Always.
There was a period of time before. Well, yeah, there was a time before the Republican Party became what it is right now. It was the Party of Liberation and Freedom for Black folks. They created the Freedmen's Bureau. They are the ones that offered land and access to us. They're the ones that help us build schools. Yes. Now that was a long time ago.
Were you born?
But I can't. That ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm talking about I can't just look at my life and think that I'm talking accurately about American history. Come on, man. This country is 300 years old. I'm 50.
But if we're going to talk about what's happening now, you can't tell me no excuse.
Well, then if we're talking about now, let's talk about now. I'm talking about there was a period of time where even before we got to this point right now, there was still, like John McCain was a reasonable Republican. Did he agree with Barack Obama on everything? Absolutely not. But was he the deciding vote to make sure that the Affordable Care Act was not overturned? Yes. There have been reasonable Republicans. Dick Cheney, toward the end of his life, became a much more reasonable Republican and did something we never thought he would do. He endorsed Kamala Harris. So they haven't all been bad. They have just become afraid of what the MAGA, because the MAGA portion of the Republican Party will kill other Republicans. That's why they're afraid. Now, that's still no excuse, but they will literally kill each other, and that's exactly what January 6th was.
We can't talk about, like I said, we can't talk about nothing 100 years ago, and then
yes, we can, because we can't think that right now is the only thing that existed. I think that's what part of our problem is. We have to look at comparable examples of history, because if we don't look at comparable examples of history, stuff like the Holocaust can happen again. So you can't just look at right now and think that everything that happened before we got here doesn't count.
No,
that is the blueprint for where we are and where we are going. Me and you just have a different perspective, because I know that having to digest history it's a lot sometimes, but also makes the path a little bit more
very
clear.
well, sir. All I'm talking about is let's talk about. Instead of talking about the past century, let's talk about the past 30 to 40 years and what's happening.
All right, then specify that.
You'll get a better outlook of what the Republicans been trying to do. Let's talk about from Reagan on up. Let's talk about Reagan on up. And if you look at all the stuff,
but you can't talk about Reagan without talking about Nixon. You can't talk about Nixon without talking about Barry Goldwater. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that your points are invalid, but what you are starting from, there was a history that led Reagan to be what Reagan was. There was a history that led Donald Trump to where Donald Trump is right now. And if we don't know all of those pieces, then we think that we'll be able to combat this by what we have available to us right now. We have to look at how history stifled those men's political agendas. But we haven't, and that is why Donald Trump was able to take the best from the worst and create a fascist republic right now, because we have no comprehensive understanding of history. Barry Goldwater was stopped. Richard Nixon was told by his own party, if you don't leave office, we're going to impeach you and we're going to remove you from office. So there were forces politically that stifled those men because people had a profound understanding of how you interrupted. Now, let's just look at the last 3 years of history. You can't, because that allows Donald Trump to do whatever he wants to do. So history is very important in determining where we are. Why am I having to argue? He's a very argumentative sort, the town is. I'm sure he's a very nice guy in his own right, but I can't just say, oh, just look at the last 30 years, because there were things that laid the groundwork and the foundation for the policies of the unitary executive, which we have right now. Richard Nixon wanted to do it. He was foiled. Ronald Reagan wanted to do it. Dick Cheney was the author of it. He wanted to do it. They couldn't do it because there were other pieces of our democracy that interrupted them. And that is where history is very important, because you have a whole bunch of people right now thinking, we can't do anything. What are we going to do? There's plenty to do, because also there have been worse epochs in American history. This is just the worst that we currently have been going through. The 1960s was a way worse decade than this one. Black people weren't even human really until 1965. The murders, the assassinations, the lynchings, the bloody marches, the bloody Sundays. It's a way worse decade. So we have lived through trying times before, and we have gotten through them. So this is just the worst that we are dealing with, because I think that as time goes on, we think that all the atrocities of the past are literally that they are the past. Oh, that was a long time ago. No, if you don't stay actively engaged, the sinister actors are always looking for an opportunity to rear their ugly heads if we don't stay informed, involved, and vigilant. Whenever you begin to coast, that is when your enemy is able to rebuild and retool and catch you when you're not looking. You can never fall asleep at the wheel with this democracy, because there are always people that want to take us backwards, because the further back we go, the more powerful they were. It is our obligation to be informed when it comes to this democracy, to make sure that those old, evil, sinister forces stay relics of the past and do not allow themselves to reinvigorate and reinvent themselves so they can harm our future. All right, see there how we all figured that out? Yay. Today's election day everywhere but here. Let's talk more about that on the other side. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, the Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
Your home has been working hard for you. Now it's time to let it work a little harder. With a home equity line of credit from Brewery Credit Union, you can turn the equity you've built into smart solutions. Pay off high-interest debt, remodel your kitchen, or take care of life's unexpected expenses with flexible access to funds when you need them. Apply today and put your home's value to work for you. Visit brewerycu.com or stop by Brewery Credit Union. Equal housing lender. Federally insured by NCUA.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
At Milwaukee College Prep, we believe brilliance lives in every child. Here, students are challenged, supported, and celebrated every single day. With small class sizes, dedicated teachers, and a proven track record of academic excellence, MCP is helping Milwaukee kids reach their fullest potential. Enrollment is still open for grades K-3 through 8. Spaces are limited. Apply today. Give your child a school where they'll thrive. Visit mkeprep.com or call today. Milwaukee College Prep, brilliance lives here.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I'm a little confused by this comment in the YouTube. Hey, Sherwin, what do you think about the VP side piece? You talking about Erica Kirk, JD Vance, and that uncomfortably intimate, sensual hug he gave to Erica Kirk? I got a theory about that. So they're the next incarnation of MAGA. I also read somewhere that either JD Vance or somebody close to him told, I think her name is Ursha, JD Vance's Indian wife. They wanted her to convert to Christianity. I think she did. Didn't she convert to Christianity? So here's what I think is going to happen, because if JD Vance is going to be handed the throne and the mantle of MAGA, he's got to get rid of that Indian woman, okay? The support that Charlie Kirk built was massive. That is the future of this current incarnation of the Republican Party. They need those youth that they were organizing and motivating on college campuses to be the next incarnation of MAGA. MAGA is going to be here for a while. And when you have somebody like Charlie Kirk that can get into the minds of the young people, think Charlie Kirk was kind of like a Bernie Sanders. The way Bernie Sanders really got the younger portions of Democrats really involved and engaged and out there fighting for causes they believed in. Well, Charlie Kirk did that for the hardcore right. They are the people that Charlie Kirk organized. They are the future. Erica Kirk has now inherited all of Charlie Kirk's empire. J.D. Vance, being the current vice president, he is the next one in line. Whether it happens that way, whether they actually do the status quo kind of succession, all that remains to be seen. But Erica Kirk, with her blonde, ultra-conservative political stances, and the widow of Charlie Kirk, MAGA would rather see J.D. Vance and Erica Kirk together than J.D. Vance and his current Indian wife. And so what would happen is this, because they have such like a cult-like magnetism over the Charlie Kirk faithful, Erica would she'd give a speech. Maybe it's at one of those political action committee events or at some national Republican event, and she would say, I love my husband Charlie with all my heart, and he would want me to continue his legacy, and I love him, and I talked to the Lord, and the Lord said, Erica, you need to be happy and continue on this robust movement, so I am announcing that J.D. Vance and I are getting married. And they would go nuts. And then J.D. Vance would walk out from behind the curtain, and then that would be the next incarnation of conservative Camelot in this country. I already see that happening. And that's not beyond them to do something like that. J.D. Vance can't lead a movement that will become even more intensely anti-immigrant and more intensely anti-black and anti-Asian and more America first if he's married to an Indian woman. For some reason, America don't like half Indian women or full Indian women because Kamala Harris lost. I could totally see that happening. But also, because I entertained this theory last night when we were out watching the Bucks game, I think that J.D. Vance is probably having an affair with Erica Kirk. So women like her, like those conservative women, she's not going to be a divorcee for very long. She will get married again. And if her legacy and carrying on her husband's legacy, which is now her legacy, is power, then you connect yourself with the next one in line to lead the country, which is J.D. Vance. Because I'll admit, they look like a quintessential conservative couple. You see J.D. Vance, because there's some people in the MAGA movement that don't want J.D. Vance's wife. I don't want to mess her name. Usa, whatever her name is. They don't want to see her as a first lady. They want Erica Kirk to be the first lady. And that would be easy to sell. Let's talk to Jules. You're on 101.7 The Truth. Thank you for holding. How are you?
I'm well. Good morning, sir. Thank you for taking my call. I just wanted to ask a question to Truth Nation and to America. It comes to mind this phrase, are you not entertained? As we grapple with the chaos and uncertainty of this first 10 months of Trump 2.0, and we ask ourselves, how did we get here? I'm reminded of Russell Crowe's classic line from the film Gladiator when he turned to that bloodthirsty Coliseum crowd who had come to watch humans slaughter each other, and he asked them, are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here? When Trump descended that tacky 1970s disco-era golden escalator at Trump Tower, some of us were amused, enthralled. We thought his ugly, outrageous, unfiltered racist rhetoric was funny. Some of us bought into and admired his mirage of success and business acumen. We ignored the cruelty and unconstitutionality of Trump's 1.0 Muslim ban because it was those people. Because of our short attention spans, we forgot his handling of a pandemic that experts say 1 million lives were unnecessarily lost, disproportionately impacted black and brown communities. We ignored his desperate, disgraceful, and dangerous attempt to hang on to power. We ignored his criminality, and for the first time in American history, we elected a convicted felon. About 77 million Americans, voters, enthusiastically ran their butts to the polls and cast a ballot for him. About 85 million decided they didn't care who won and didn't mind his becoming president and didn't show up to vote at all. So we let that scoundrel get back in, and so now we are in the mess around and find out phase. We're seeing residents terrorized on American streets, not by foreign actors, but by the U.S. government. We're experiencing the cruelty of citizens in the richest nation in history on the planet go hungry. We're seeing decades of gains for black progress in America halted and even reversed. It was 350,000 black women lost jobs in 2025. So now that we're finding out that these people care more about power than about democracy, not that we're messing around and found out elections do have consequences and that voting does matter. Now that more of us understand that and are ready to participate in democracy, we done messed around and found out that we might not be able to get rid of these scoundrels. And again, I ask, are we not entertained? Thank you for letting me say that, man.
Thank you. Appreciate your call, Jules. I should have asked him if he wants a radio show, because he should have a radio show. Like, that was very articulate. He was right about that. Yeah, I can't offer any rebuttal for all the things that Donald Trump was, became, and is. And then when you ask the American people to make a decision, which I guess it could have been a complicated decision in the way you look at it, or it was a simple one, because there were two very, very different versions of this nation presented to us. And the majority of the people, because he won all the battleground states, he won the popular vote. Some of you think, oh, there was a bunch of voter fraud. I don't think so. But I think when you offer America those options, it's very, very easy to see, just looking at, again, here comes history, looking at the history of this nation. And Kamala Harris, she's angry, rightfully so, but I just don't like how she's now throwing everybody under the bus, but still believes she's going to be a contender in 2028. But two contrasting versions of America were offered. And if that does not show some of you good, honest, decent white people what this country actually is, because there's some white folks that simply refuse to believe, because they refuse to believe that the country is still racist, because they don't live their life that way and they treat everybody with dignity and respect. And we're very glad that you do. But that's you. That's not your friends. That's not your family. You may think that racism is a thing of the past. That's you. And we appreciate the fact that you may think that. But where you think that, there are 10 people that think that racism is still a useful tool for white folks. And they have the power to vote. And they accepted Donald Trump with more flaws than any person running for office should ever have. And they chose him anyway over her. That just shows you everything you need to see. That's probably the best example I could possibly give. And I can talk about how terrible racism is and give you all these historic examples. When you give the American people a choice, the majority of them will choose, well, just look at the results from November 4th, 2024. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be back for hour 2.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 1017 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and I am Milwaukee. I take great pride in being a 414 boy and representing the city that I love. The great memories I have of going to Northtown Cinema to see movies with family and friends, to going to Capitol Court to see the Black Santa Claus, this city has helped shape me into the man that I am today, and I pledge to utilize my voice as a way to advocate for you in our community. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations, where you can speak your truth. We are the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Need a way to hype up your day?
This is Lorenzo.
Lorenzo, you just won $5,000!
What would you do with $5,000?
That's sweet for a couple months.
Yes!
There you go.
Yes. That just made me happy.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
Can we hold something?
Y'all holler back at y'all.
I got money now.
Where strong voices meet strong opinions.
Tell your kids who were supposed to be the 7th generation that Paw Paw's an idiot, because Paw Paw decided he wanted to be Make America Great, but meanwhile the Chinese ain't buying soybeans from us no more because of policies Donald Trump put in, and they voted for us. You know, I don't know what we're gonna do. I know what you should have did. You should have voted for somebody that wasn't gonna put tariffs out there. I love God, but God can't save you from nonsense. You don't deserve a bailout. You can't sit here and vote one way, and then when your economy gets decimated, your way of life gets destroyed, you want to pray to God? God didn't tell you to go to that poll and vote against your own best interest. That was your own damn problem. That was you. Don't ask for prayer when you block your own blessing. That's why I don't feel bad for these farmers. You voted for this, and now you reap what you sow.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace, every weekday from 12 to 1. Streaming live on YouTube and on 1017 The Truth.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and listen. I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us. But try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
Milwaukee's Black Talk lives here. You are listening to 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. 1 year after Donald Trump won his way back to the White House, voters are going back to the ballot box in a test of the president's popularity and whether Democrats are able to rebound from their catastrophic losses of 2024. With governor's mansions, mayoral offices, state houses, and mid-cycle redistricting on the line in closely watched contests from Trenton, New Jersey, and Richmond, Virginia, to New York City and beyond, the party is pinning its hopes on locally rooted campaigns aiming to blunt a national conservative message that has surged in recent years. Well, now we can make this complicated or we can make this simple. If the Democratic Party is understood as a party that is very diverse, the Democratic Party is black, it's liberal, it's progressive. It is pro-union, it is pro-public education, it is pro-public school, it is pro-woman, it is pro-voting rights, and to some extent, it is pro-immigration. And if it is seen as all of those things, and I don't think that those things are bad. Now, what will happen is if I mention all the different constituency groups that see better policy options with Democrats than Republicans, what will happen is if I say, okay, African Americans are Democratic voters, then the black people within the tent of the Democratic Party won't want other groups to get fairness and equality. Like, we have to go first. And I think that is what fractures the party. But they don't, the other side, the Republicans, the conservatives, the MAGA people, they don't see the nuances. They think that all the Democrats are one huge big basket. So it's pro-women and pro-black and pro-migrant and pro-welfare and all of that stuff. A lot of it is fake, but that's how they see the Democrats. And it's easy for them to vote against that because if you're a conservative or a MAGA person, if there's any one section of the Democratic tent that you don't like, you're going to vote for Republicans always and forever. If you don't like diversity, if you don't want these people moving into your neighborhoods, if you don't want low-income housing, if you still associate your tax dollars that are taken out of your check going to poor, lazy, black welfare queens, you're going to continue to vote for Republicans. The problem with the Democrats is their message, it's so complicated because there's so many different groups. Because the Democrats first have to be loyal to who their voters and who their supporters are. But then at the same time, they also have to create policies that are good for the country, meaning they have to bring in and unite people that fundamentally hate everything that party stands for. And they have to be a hedge to Donald Trump. You know how incredibly difficult that is? It's damn near impossible. And then what happens is on a local level, people get disappointed in the Democrats because if you look at a city like Milwaukee, now remember I'm using a very simple set of examples here because most people don't dig deep and study the minutia of movements and of policy and politics and all that other fun stuff. Most people don't look at all those details, but they'll say, okay, it's a bunch of Democrats that are elected here in Milwaukee and Milwaukee still has a shooting. Oh, the Democrats must be bad. I'm either going to not vote or vote for a Republican. It is that simple logic that makes it so incredibly difficult for common sense human beings to run for office and win. And it's also a reason why common sense human beings don't run for office in the first place. There are a lot of great people that can make excellent elected officials at every level of government, but because you have to appeal to the simplicity of some voters, it's not worth it. Some voters you literally have to talk to like children because that is their understanding of politics. Somebody can say, oh, the Democrats, they do a lot of stuff for the blacks. I'm not black. I'm poor. I need all the help I can get. I'm not ever going to vote for a Democrat because they ain't going to do nothing for me. And they go vote for a Republican or worse, they're a non-voter altogether. There is no way that this nation gets back to firm footing unless the electorate becomes more educated on how this stuff actually works. And I try my damnedest. I try to explain it every single day. We make a little bit of progress, but then somebody will call in and set us back about 50 years. But if you hate any of those groups, and when I say hate, I mean it. They hate black people. They hate Latinos. They hate illegals. They hate these people. Some of them hate women. They hate the gays. They hate the transgenders. And if you think the Democratic Party does stuff, gives options to, gives rights to, gives benefits to any of those, and there's probably 30 different constituency groups underneath the tent of the Democratic Party, and all a Republican has to do is hate one of the 30, and they're going to continue to vote no matter how bad they may get harmed by voting for Republicans and having Republican policies implemented across the country. Even if they get hurt, they would rather get hurt and deal with that pain than to have someone that they hate be represented in government. And that is where we are. It's a very, very difficult position to be in. Because right now you only have one political party that even has the ability to lead and create policies when it comes to things like hunger, when it comes to things like healthcare and infrastructure. There's only one political party that's doing any of that. And that's the political party where you have all these different diverse constituency groups that the Republicans fundamentally hate. So it's an impasse unlike any other. So what's going to happen is we're going to see exactly how fed up some American voters are in states like California and New Jersey, New York City, and Virginia. We're going to see, have we reached a breaking point? I think that we have. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. With governor's mansions, mayoral offices, state houses, and mid-cycle redistricting on the line, and closely watched contests from Trenton, New Jersey, and Richmond, Virginia, to New York City and beyond, the party is pinning its hopes on locally rooted campaigns aiming to blunt a national conservative message that has surged in recent years. The contests come as Democrats face their deepest popularity crisis in decades. The party's favorability rating has plunged to historic lows, hitting 27% in one NBC News poll in March. That's the worst since tracking began in 1990, driven by frustration among Democrats themselves over the party's response to the Trump 2024 victory and perceptions that the party has lost touch with ordinary voters. So they call them ordinary voters. We used to refer to them maybe as low information voters, people that don't get into all of the details of what political parties actually do, what they stand for, how these candidates can actually help you and improve your life and reduce costs and reduce your taxes if you're a middle class working family. They don't understand that. They know the Democratic Party is the party of the gays and the blacks. And if you hate either the gays or the blacks, some people hate both the gays and the blacks, then you can never vote for a Democrat, even if they're going to lower your working class tax burden. That is how we lose these elections. Because, quote unquote, ordinary people hate diversity because they fear it. Now, if we just taught, there's a remedy to this. All you got to do is teach American history in the order in which it happened so that these groups that are hated mostly because they are misunderstood, and if something is misunderstood, it is a threat because you don't understand it. You don't know what it's going to do. You don't know how it's going to harm you if it gets power. If its party gets elected, you don't know what that means for you and your family and everything that you've built because you don't understand these folks, these immigrants, these migrants, these black people, these gays, these transgenders. So if you do not understand them, you fear them. And instead of trying to understand them, just make sure they don't get any political power, even if it hurts you and your future. Now, that is not a sustainable system, but there is a remedy for it. International travel, too. There are very few people that travel internationally regularly and delve into other cultures that come back to America racist. In fact, people that have traveled the world and spent some time in other countries and in other cultures come back even more disappointed in America. And a lot of times they become expatriates. They don't come back to America at all. So once you have a deep understanding for the human condition, race begins to be less of a factor in some of your decision making. But most Americans don't even leave their damn towns. So they don't have the opportunity to travel and to see how other cultures act and how they interact. So that is going to maintain racism. Mark Twain had a quote about prejudice, it's the cure for prejudice or something. Travel is the cure for prejudice, something like that. He said he's absolutely correct. But if Americans are not going to travel and see how other people live and see how other cultures and other parts of the world can coexist, then we have to teach it in our schools, but we don't. Black History Month is such a profound disappointment for me that I just refuse to, I don't even want to acknowledge it because it condenses us and everything that we are and everything that we have done into a short 28 days where you celebrate Valentine's Day and two presidents' birthdays. I made it abundantly clear I am not going to participate in another Juneteenth Day parade because I'm not going to have us reduced to a novelty. And why is Juneteenth my longest work day of the year? No, thank you. It's a holiday. It's like my 4th of July. I'm staying home. Like, I shouldn't have to, and we shouldn't have to put all of this tremendous effort and burden. Like, black people still have to prove who we are. Like, oh, Black History Month. We got to do a whole bunch of stuff for Black History Month. I ain't got to do nothing during Black History Month because I've already done the work. That's for everybody else. Gonna ask me to carry the burden of teaching my history to all these damn ignorant people that have just as much Google as me, have just as much AI research capabilities as me. It is not incumbent upon me. Y'all want to learn about it? You learn about everything else. As I'm refusing to, because also it hasn't done any good. Over here banging our heads against the wall, trying to get people to know us, understand us, and respect us, and have some kind of semblance of our history and how great we were and are. And I'm not doing that burden no more. I am spending too much of my life and my time trying to convince ignorant white people to not be ignorant anymore. I can't do it. The results Tuesday night will help show whether Democrats can rebuild after 2024 or if the right's momentum can carry some seats of power into the rest of the decade. The stakes are high across the board. In Virginia, Democrats see their best pickup opportunity. In New Jersey, the party is fighting to hold its ground in a state not always so opposed to going red. And in New York City, its insurgent nominee would give the party its highest profile left-wing leader and could forecast a new unifying message for the Democrats while, quote, yes on California's Proposition 50 would show just how far voters are willing to take the fight right to Trump. Take a break, come back. I also said I was going to talk to you guys about this idea, this bill that was passed, signed by the governor. We become the 36th state here in Wisconsin to limit cell phones in schools. I don't know if that's a good idea because of how important cell phones are to our daily lives. Limiting students' access to them during the school day, I think it's counterintuitive. Most of us cannot function without our cell phones. They keep us connected to the entire world. Now, you can put some rules and restrictions on children having cell phones in school. I want to talk more about that on the other side. But I think to ban them outright is problematic, and I actually think that we should take a step further when it comes to technology in schools and in classrooms. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Contract-ready businesses, opportunity seekers, partnership builders, deal closers. Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development, is focused on you. This event puts small businesses like yours in the room with buyers, partners, and mentors who can help open doors to bigger opportunities. Join us online December 9th, in person December 10th and 11th at the Baird Center in downtown Milwaukee. Whether you're in construction, looking for contracts, or a service provider ready to grow, Marketplace Wisconsin is for you. Meet one-on-one with government reps, corporate buyers, and resource providers. Small businesses like yours keep Wisconsin moving forward. Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation is here to propel your growth. So join them for Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development, December 10th and 11th. Register at marketplacewisconsin.com. That's marketplacewisconsin.com. Presented by WEDC. Let's look forward together.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Milwaukee College Prep, we believe brilliance lives in every child. Here, students are challenged, supported, and celebrated every single day. With small class sizes, dedicated teachers, and a proven track record of academic excellence, MCP is helping Milwaukee kids reach their fullest potential. Enrollment is still open for grades K-3 through 8. Spaces are limited. Apply today. Give your child a school where they'll thrive. Visit mkeprep.com or call today. Milwaukee College Prep, brilliance lives here.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You ain't even on me, yeah. Fall back too close. You ain't even on me. Trust my brothers from way back.
833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. Hopefully you guys are watching and paying attention to the election coverage tonight, because this could be an indication of potentially the Democrats making a bit of a comeback. They need to find their way through all of this mess, because right now Trumpism is ruling this nation and will for the foreseeable future. But the Democrats have got to find some silver lining in this cloud. I want to find this comment. Jay says, but Indian women are very conservative. Kamala Harris's mama wasn't. And that's like saying all white women are also conservative. You can't say all women are anything. There's black people that are liberal and conservative and moderate. You know what I mean? You can't just say, oh, this particular nationality votes this particular way. So there's nuance in everything, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk to... Hello, Al. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. You know, we should not be shocked when we see that hug with Kirk, because he wants his wife to be a Christian. This is nothing new. And we know if you want to get turned out, where do you go to? They keep it in-house. But my question is, do you know how many people decide to be a whore in the name of the Lord? Do you know that usually when most men or women, their husbands or wives die, they usually already was effing and banging somebody shortly, but they usually are discreet. But when you decide to be a whore in the name of the Lord, you don't give a goddamn what anybody think. So this should not be nothing new. And if you look at the Bible of those Christians, God let, was it King Solomon, 700 wives, 300 nickel whores, and we know somebody pH balance was off. So when you are a whore in the name of the Lord and you just do it with the religion of being a whore, people are going to automatically gravitate to you. Where do usually all the infidelities happen at? Nobody isn't even talking about it. And I'm surprised ain't nobody brought up them big, cheap, gaudy gold rings on the right hand. Makes it look like she got a pimp with finger waves and a shag in the back. But when you are religious and you are whore for the Lord, nobody will condemn you because you're doing it for Christ and God. Remember, when you are whore for the Lord, nobody will never condemn you because you're doing it under the Christ of the Lord. So I just needed y'all to pay attention to that. I seen that too. But we all know when most people die, and if you're going to step out on your husband or wife that you was already effing 2 weeks prior, you are a little discreet. You have some substance. You don't want everybody to know you're a whore. But when you are a whore for the Lord, You don't care what nobody thinks. Look around your neighborhood. You can look within your families, and you will see everything I'm talking about. This is nothing new, and we should not be like, oh, my God, clench our pearls. We done seen this all along. Have a good day. But remember, when you are whore for the Lord, you can do whatever you want. I had a best friend who lost his virginity in the church, and I said, why did you do that? Because he said it was a whore that was calling me who had some good yams, and I lost my virginity in the basement. Whore for the Lord. Have a good day.
Thank you.
One law, one rule, one standard.
I'm a whore for some really good pasta. You know what I mean? Like really good Italian food. Yeah.
Like you're a whore for any type of food.
Good.
Yeah, really. It's a really good Italian cuisine. You know what I mean? I would just see me out there working on the corner. Hey, baby, want to go out? I don't accept money. I accept spadini. A good lasagna. A good meat sauce.
You okay?
No, I don't know what's happening anymore. I just think that everything is unraveling.
You soliciting your goods, your no square for pasta. You've been on one the last few days.
Somebody will give it up for free. At least I want some perfectly cooked spaghetti noodles. You know what I'm just saying. Let's talk to. Oh, look who's online too. Hello, Linda.
Good morning, Professor, and good morning to all the beautiful, good-hearted people of 101.7 The Truth in Milwaukee and America. Shout out to Cali and North Carolina in the Truth chat. Hey, Sherwin. Yeah, I love spaghetti. I want to go to Olive Garden. I love
Olive Garden.
That's not even real Italian food.
Well, I was going to go to try and find like Maggiano's, something like that, Maggiano's. But yeah, I love Italian food too. But I wanted to comment about education and technology. As an educator and a progressive educator, one that is called and is gifted in this area, I just feel that that's ass backwards to deny children that expansion and potential of going into the future with their intelligence, with modern day, realization. I mean, really, come on. America, our children are competing with other children in the country, and China and Nigeria is leading the way. Hello? So I'm just saying that this is why I feel like I would, when my family died and I couldn't take it and I really left education, I should have just took a leave and come back, because I think I really need to be in this genre or this race, because we are depriving our children of their potential. My God, what is wrong with these people? Stop trying to stay in yesteryears of education and take education into the future, into the progressive future that these children is ready for. We're suppressing their intelligence. We're suppressing their intellectual potential, their educational potential, their God-given gift to contribute to the world. Man. But yes, they need to have these children bring their phones and include it in their educational experience.
Well, you got to put some limits on it, because then the kids will look up answers. We still want them to be able to think on their own. I think there need to be some limits. Like if a child is taking a test, don't let them be able to have their phone, because they won't learn anything. They'll just Google everything. I think that children need to be connected to the outside world. And also there are things that are happening in schools that parents and adults and policymakers may be unaware of. And I think that children have the ability to capture some of those things. I think there need to be cameras in the classroom. Now, they don't have cameras in the classroom because blah, 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 student privacy concerns. I think if some parents saw how their kids are acting, because some parents are never going to believe a teacher, because some parents will be like, oh, that teacher just don't like my baby. No, look how your little raggedy, disruptive baby is acting in math class, and then you'll find the teacher more credible. So we don't have cameras in the classrooms yet, but I think they are necessary because here's the thing. We have gotten used to being under surveillance everywhere we go. I can't do nothing. I wanted to rob a trick-or-treater last weekend, but I couldn't because these little kids got camera phones on them. I wanted me a bag of candy and wanted to snatch it, but I couldn't because they all got cameras. Put cameras in the classroom.
And with this data tracking now and these data centers, baby, we finna get a double dose of that. But I'm just saying that these children can walk and chew gum at the same time. And, yes, we can monitor their behavior. Hello, somebody. They're children. And we are the intellectual adults. We can monitor and manage their behavior when handling this phone in the class. It's for an educational purpose, and that is what you're trying to convey to the children, to the parents. And yes, parents should have an eye in that classroom because, and the reason why it's not is to protect the teacher. That's all that is. That's why there's no cameras. That's why there's this so-called privacy of the child. It's to protect that teacher and her racist tendencies and misappropriate behavior. That's what that is. That's the union putting that clause in there. But anyway, I just feel that we're depriving our children of the potential for the future. Hello, we're all using AI. AI has changed all of our lives. So has racism. We need to wake up. I'm sorry. I'm getting emotional. Have a great day.
All right, Linda, make sure you keep some pants on. Because Linda be going out taking the garbage out with her ass out. So I can see her just getting mad one day. I'm not putting on no clothes. I'm finna go to Pick and Save with no pants on. Okay, well, we're doing a lot of things today, talking about many things. Vice President J.D. Vance on Friday defended comments about his faith and marriage after critics accused him of throwing his wife's Hindu religion, quote, under the bus during a Turning Point USA event earlier in the week. He's already setting the groundwork for him divorcing his wife. Vance responded to a user on X who referenced the comments the vice president, who was raised Protestant but converted to Catholicism in 2019. That's an unusual convert. Vance spoke to the crowd about his faith and how it relates to his relationship with Usha, that's her name, Usha Vance, who was raised Hindu. He says, for us, it works out now most Sundays. Usha will come with me to church as I've told her and I've said publicly. I'll say now in front of 10,000 of my closest friends. I do hope eventually that she is somehow moved by the same thing that I was moved by in church. Yeah, I honestly do wish that because I believe in the Christian gospel, and I hope eventually my wife comes to see it the same way. But if she doesn't, then God says everyone has free will, and so that doesn't cause a problem for me, the vice president said. So this dude is talking to 10,000 Turning Point USA members, talking about how he clearly has an issue with his wife being Hindu. Interesting, JD. You married her knowing what her religion was. He's probably getting pressure from the MAGA faithful to dump his Hindu Indian wife if he wants to control the next epoch of power for the Republicans. And I think he'll do it. That is crazy. You know how mad his wife should be? His wife should be like, yo, why are you going to have a problem with my religion in front of these 10,000 ultra-conservative MAGA people? That's foul. Oh, yeah, that does explain his long, drawn-out, very intimate, very sensual hug with Erica Kirk, Charlie Kirk's widow. Charlie Kirk ain't even cold yet, and Erica Kirk is giving J.D. Vance these sensual hugs. But think about it. For the next incarnation of the MAGA movement, because Trump is old, they need young people. J.D. Vance ain't even 40 yet, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's in his 30s still, right? Him and Erica Kirk, think about that. J.D. Vance inherits all of the power from Donald Trump, and he gets to inherit Donald Trump's ballroom. J.D. Vance can't lead MAGA with a Hindu Indian wife. Come on, y'all know that those optics are ugly. Erica Kirk with her beautiful looks and her blonde hair and her Christian, faithful values. And once she gives her speech to the Turning Point faithful and says, the Lord has told me that I do need to move on. I love Charlie so much, but Charlie would want me to take control of this movement. And I think that J.D. Vance and I are the next incarnation of what America needs. They would go nuts.
For the Lord.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
For the Lord.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Talk to these people in terms of how do I register for this program despite my reservations and my previous experiences of rejection?
Yes, I tell anybody and everybody that you can buy a house. It may take somebody longer than the other person, depending on what your circumstances is with your credit and income and affordability, but you can purchase a house. The first step would be is to register for our program. You can come to our office, 7830 West Burleigh Street, or you can give us a call at 414-461-6330, or just go onto our website, hri-wi.org. Register for the first-time home buyer education workshop. That's going to be your first step to home ownership. During that class, you're going to learn everything that you need to know from A to Z, how to get approved for a house, how to look for a house and put an accepted offer, and how to close on a home.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 101.7 The Truth.
I want you to really stress the importance of having an ethnically diverse blood supply. But I guess, what do you say to people that, for whatever reason, are apprehensive about giving blood?
It's not by accident that we are building this fixed donation site right in the heart of this Halyard Park, Harambe neighborhood. And to your point, our black and brown donors, it probably represents the smallest demographic in our donor base. That's attributed to multiple reasons. For those of us that understand the history, there is a lot of underlying mistrust of the healthcare system. And quite frankly, there's already challenges with how busy people are, how accessible they are to even know where to go to donate blood. And let's face it, a lot of folks are scared of needles, right? But when they get through all of that, the importance, I think, is a heavier burden on our black and brown communities, because there are a lot of different blood diseases that require what I'll call more of a match in blood that only comes from people of similar ethnicities. Something that's specific to our black donors and patients is something that I think your listeners are very familiar with: sickle cell disease. The only therapy that get them through their day-to-day life is blood transfusions. And it's not just a what I'll call average or normal blood type or blood transfusion. It's actually a specific blood with a specific type called RO blood. And this RO blood typically only comes from people of African descent and Hispanic descent. And so that's why it's so important that our donor base is diverse, so that it helps our ethnically diverse patient population.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It makes sense that J.D. Vance would have to leave Usha to get elected president. Think about this for a second. What prominent, I'm going to start with African American men. Prominent African American men that are elected to high office somewhere in this country that have white wives. None. If you want to achieve the highest levels of power, you cannot be married interracially. I think JD, with white men, it's different, because the former mayor of New York, Bill de Blasio, he had him a chocolate sister. Ooh, he loved chocolate. White men have more latitude with the women that they can couple with, have kids with, and marry. and not have their transcendence to power interrupted. Black man can't. Let me give you an example. If Barack Obama was the man that he is and the man that he was when he ran, if Barack Obama had a white wife, he wouldn't have got elected. Ain't no way. I cannot think of a single high-profile African-American man in elected office that has even a non-black spouse. Now I can go to African-American women. Kamala Harris had a white husband. She didn't get elected. MAGA's going to be a little bit more different because they stress this whole racial purity because Donald Trump said, well, Hitler said it too, that immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country. J.D. Vance can't lead MAGA with an Indian wife that's Hindu. Hell no. I think that photo op with him and Erica Kirk was foreshadowing of the future. And quite honestly, I don't know if the Democrats could put someone up that could beat that. If Trump decides to stand down in 2028, we don't know what Trump is going to do. But if J.D. Vance runs for the presidency and he happens to be married to, because they got to get married, they got to be married, because we're not going to elect an unmarried president. I think we've had maybe 3, but if we had unmarried presidents, it's because their wives probably died in office. But our presidents, we like them, well, for the most part, we like them to be white dudes and married to white women. Yeah, I'm sticking with this theory. And J.D. Vance talking to this group of 10,000 Turning Point USA fans, acolytes, members, whatever the hell they were, talking about his wife's religion, that he asked his wife. Think about that. If he had a real problem with his wife's religion, you convert before you get married. You don't see your political future being dimmed by the fact that your wife is a Hindu. Now, being vice president under Donald Trump is fine because Trump needed people that are loyal to him, and you had to take J.D. Vance with his Indian wife and her Hindu baggage religion. But if J.D. Vance wants to be president, not just president of the United States, but the leader of MAGA, he needs Erica Kirk. The things that people do for power, here's another example. I think that Bill and Hillary Clinton agreed. They had an agreement many, many years ago. Yeah, we're going to support each other in our political careers because both of us are incredibly ambitious. Meaning, Bill, I'm going to let you have hoes. I'm not going to like it, but if you having other women and you still are able to support me while I have an incredible meteoric rise in political power, so be it. Think about if Hillary Clinton would have divorced Bill Clinton in the 80s. She would not have been senator of New York. She would not have been Barack Obama's Secretary of State. Whole bunch of stuff. And I hate to have to say that. That's not very fair because Hillary Clinton is a very accomplished woman in her own right. But Bill helped a lot. Couldn't get her across the finish line to get her to become president, but I mean, he helped quite a bit. All right, there was a Creation says, it ain't about struggle, Al. It's about the end game. Where your heart wants to be, God sees the heart. There was something else that was said about husbandly and wifely duties. Somebody made a comment. I think it might have been Creation Muse in the YouTube chat. If you haven't done so already, go to youtube.com or open up a YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device. Search 1017 The Truth. Of course, hit subscribe, and you'll be able to join the live chat stream. Here we go. Is this it? Yeah, he's supposed to work that out. He already married her. Unless there's abuse, he's supposed to stick around. Are you talking about J.D. Vance sticking around with his wife? No, people get divorced for less than that. As long as she is fulfilling her wifely duties and he his husbandly duties. What exactly is that? I'm curious. We're going to take a little detour of the political conversation for a moment because what are wifely duties? For those of you that are currently married, maybe engaged, thinking about getting married, or you have been married and divorced and you're a man, what the hell can you make your wife do? Can you tell your wife, woman, look here, these are your wifely duties. You better do them. It don't work like that. I was just giving some real thought, like deep introspective thought, as to why I'm not married. I can give a lot of excuses as to why I'm not married. I can say, oh, I'd like being single, or I don't want to have to answer to anybody, blah, 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 blah. You know what I think it really is? I thought long and hard about this, because I'm at an age now where I have seen, so people of my generation, I've seen their marriages crumble, but I've also seen their relationships from start to end. I was there when a lot of my friends met their spouses, fell in love and dated and were engaged and got married, and we stood up in the wedding and went to the reception, and then they're married and they got kids, and I've seen that family system just completely self-destruct. I've seen it from start to finish. Or there are some individuals that are still married. They've been married a long time, God bless them, but they hate their spouse. Hate them, hate them, hate them, hate them. Can't wait for them to die. Talk about their death glowingly. I'm like, wow, that's not a very comfortable position to be in. But none of that applies to me. So why am I not married? I could give you a bunch of excuses, but let me give you something that is foundational as to why I'm scared. I am petrified of women. I am more afraid of a woman than I am of any man. I am afraid of a woman that I happen to be in love with and vulnerable to. I am afraid of them. I have seen women destroy men into 1,000 pieces, to where these men never recover from their brokenness. I have seen women do things to decent, honest, hard-working men that sacrifice their own happiness for the betterment of that family, and she completely disregards him because he wasn't romantic anymore. There was no more adventure anymore. She had to be true to her actual desires and left a good man. I am petrified of that, because the moment she decides she doesn't want you anymore, she has no obligation to stay with any man, even if he's a good one. If she decides, I'm better off without him, I'm going to get the house, I'm going to get alimony, I'm going to get child support, I think I just want to be free, I think I just want to be even more independent, and she can do that at any point in time. I am petrified of that. Now, I know some of y'all are going to say, no, not all women. Enough of them. Do y'all know that women leave men sometimes for nothing? Just because it's just time for her to just realize her full self. She got bored. Things weren't how they used to be, and she just decides to leave. And this man is broken, never to recover. Yeah, I couldn't. And the only way to prevent that is to not get married. God, the things that I've seen, and men can do horrible things too. But the things that I have seen women do with no remorse, it's petrifying to me. R. Kelly was right. When a woman's fed up, it's astonishing to me what they'll do. And I don't deal well with that. So, I'm just out here in these streets just thotting it up with everybody else. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. It's a big week for Marquette University during College Scholarship Month on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. During this week, we will highlight the many full tuition scholarship opportunities they offer and tell you why your student should apply to attend Marquette University. When you arrive ready for something good, you'll leave connected with something greater. Marquette University. Be the difference. Visit marquette.edu to apply and find more information on their scholarships.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axhousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Millicent texted in and said, "I'm not married because I'm a spoiled brat." That's why. So, all right, Millicent, fair enough. If that's how you want to label me, I'll be all of that. I also don't need a woman to, take care of me. I don't need her to cook. I don't need her to clean. Companionship is nice, but I don't even want companionship all the time. She needs to have, her own life. And I wouldn't mind. I don't need to see my wife every day. I don't need to see anybody every day. But if you're married, you got to see them even when you don't want to. I don't know. It's not worth it. And here's the one that I'm sick of. Just like I'm sure women get tired of hearing, "Oh, you're so pretty. How come you're not married?" You got women in their 30s. So back in the day, you would just accuse that woman or that man of being gay or a lesbian. If they're not married by 30 or 35 or 40, they must be gay. Well, not the gays get married. So you can't use that as an excuse. But the one that a lot of men hear, and it's usually from lonely women, it's, "Oh, you're going to need somebody to take care of you when you're old." I'll pay somebody. This is a man's world. This is a man's world. Why would let's be practical and logical here for a second. So first of all, half of marriages are going to end in divorce anyway. Probably 75% should end in divorce. So the odds are not in your favor. And if women they're strong and they're independent, they can do whatever they want. They don't have to listen to anybody. They don't have to listen to anything. Why in the hell would she listen to a husband? For what? She probably made her life and her career and her money without me and without a man, and probably without her father. What the hell she need me for? I'm some kind of accessory, or maybe something that she just had planned for her life. She was going to get married, but not actually be committed to the actual marriage, committed to the idea of marriage, but not committed to the marriage itself. Marriage is way too much work. Plus, the rest of the world is work. You have to work all the time at everything else. You got to be focused on your job and your career and your money. You have your family. You got to be concerned about them. And you have this marriage, this whole other human being that you got to be responsible for. That's quite a bit. It's a lot. And then they'll say, "Oh, well, you're going to want somebody to take care of you when you're old." There is no obligation that a woman is going to take care of a man, her husband, whoever, when he gets old and sick. That is insane to me. Because if y'all ain't getting along and can't stand each other when you're both perfectly healthy, like all of a sudden when you get sick, now she's going to change her ways and take care of you. No, she'll probably leave when you get sick. Nobody sticks around to be miserable for 30 or 40 years like, oh, I'm just here in case you get sick, and then when you get sick, I'm going to take care of you real good. I wouldn't want a life like that, to be with someone just in case I get sick and they're here to take care of me, because there's no guarantee that they're going to take care of you when you're sick. You can't legally require them to take care of you. Now, here's the thing. For some people, it works very well. You found your partner. You need them. You love them. They complete you, all that other stuff. Like, that's wonderful, but it's exceedingly rare, especially in this world where there is unlimited choice. Unlimited choice. You have access to everybody all of the time. And some would say this makes intentional relationships even stronger because, fellas, oh my God, she's choosing you. And she has 19 guys in her inbox. Now, let's also be clear about this, too. She can take any one of those guys up on any of their offers in her inbox, and you'll be none the wiser. It's fascinating how they operate because, gentlemen, she is cheating with the man that you think she is. She'll deny it. She'll make you think you're crazy, but it's exactly who you think she is cheating with. It ain't no illusion. That's exactly who she is with. God, the things I've seen them do. And I think that's probably why I'm so jaded. Because even a really, really good woman will want to go out one night, just one night, maybe once in the 30 years she's with her husband, and just relive her days of her youth. Just one night on that girls' trip. Just one night on that vacation, that day trip to, I don't know, Indianapolis or wherever she's going with her sister and a couple of her girlfriends. Ain't no way. No. And what's crazy is men don't even take men's trips, do they? Like my friends, their spouses go on cruises, go to Jamaica, go to wherever, the Caribbean, go to Mexico with, other wives. And it's normal and it's routine. And, my friends are just like, oh, no, she's going to have a good time. No way. When have you ever heard of men, a group of married men going on a vacation together? If a group of married men go on vacation together, they are going with their spouses. Now, they may go as a bunch of couples, which defeats the purpose, which tells me that the girls' trip in and of itself is sinister. Now, that doesn't mean that every woman that goes on the girls' trip is doing naughty things, but what the hell is the purpose of the girls' trip, and why does the corresponding men's trip not exist? Let me tell you why. Because no wife in her right mind would want her husband to go out of town or go to the Caribbean or go to Jamaica with him. Even if all these men are married, no wife would want her husband to go on a guy's trip, because the guys may do what the women do when they go on their girls' trips, and women can forbid it. So here's what my problem is, Millicent. You say I'm a spoiled brat, I'll be that. If my wife is going on a girls' trip, I'm going on a boys' trip too. But here's the problem. See, my married friends, they're not going to be able to go on the guys' trip. So when Sherwin goes on his guys' trip, because I am going on a guys' trip, if she going on a girls' trip, you bet your sweet patootie I'm going on a guys' trip. Here's the problem, though. The guys I'm going with on my guys' trip, all of them is single. I'm saying I don't have a choice, because all my married guy friends, they can't leave the country with me. Can't leave the country, a bunch of married men going on a trip. The first thing those wives would do? They would accuse their husbands of being gay because they're going on a guy's trip. Yet women can go on a girl's trip because they earned it and they deserved it. And I know the double standards exist all over the place, but that is one I will never go for. I ain't no part of a fool. I might have been born at night. I might have been born last night, but how's it go? I ain't no dummy. I was born last night at night. Whatever the saying is, you know what I'm talking about. Ain't no way. And they don't even ask. They're like, oh, me and the girls we're going on a girls' trip in January. And the husband just says, oh, okay, well, where y'all going? We haven't decided yet. We just all know that we're going to leave our husbands for 10 days and go to another country where nothing we do counts. Okay. Go ahead, wife. Go on, take your little girl trip. When you come back, I would move the whole house. She would come back to the house, and the house wouldn't even be there. I would pick the house up. She would come back home, and it would just be a lot. I'm like, oh, she want to go on a girl trip? I'm like, oh, no, have fun. How long you going to be gone? Oh, you be gone for 2 weeks? I would call 13 tow truck companies like, hey, can y'all just come move my house? Because I don't want the house to be here when she gets back. She's going to come back to the basement because I'm going to take the whole house. I'm going to take the basement too. Everything. You want to go on a girl's trip? All right, well, I moved the house. Just saying. Y'all know that I'm telling the damn truth. Married women. Well, it's only the married women that the rare few, oh, no, I don't care if my husband goes on a guy trip. Oh, I don't care. No, that's not common. But if a man, that's the double standard that bothers me. A man can't even challenge his wife if she wants to do something. He can't, because now you're oppressive, you're gaslighting, you're narcissistic. Oh, you're abusive too. All the things that women can say to a man that makes a man stand down and get defensive. He has to just acquiesce to whatever she wants to do. And in the event he says, no, I have a boundary. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to go. That's upsetting me. And she goes anyway. Then what point is even the level of commitment? Like, and I get it. People are individuals. That's why if I did get married, I'm going to keep my house. In case it don't work out, you ain't getting my real estate. And we're going to be prenupted to the gills. If in the event that this marriage doesn't work out, just go home. Just take all whatever you brought and just go home. Ain't nobody getting no money. Keep all the finances separate. You ain't getting none of my money. I ain't getting none of yours. But the second you say that to a woman, now they don't want to marry you no more. Well, I don't want to sign a prenup. Of course you don't want to sign a prenup because you can leave at any point in time and get half of what I work for. You ain't getting my Good Karma Brands retirement money. I probably got $45 or $50 of my Good Karma Brands retirement account. You ain't taking my $55.82. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for Hour 3.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Come in with straight truth.
Everything got a message. I'll say this. Y'all can't be tired if y'all still messing with the negative energy. Every day I get on and say, the power of the tongue. Your impulsive negative thoughts, reacting, and these kids watching you reacting all wild and crazy. The programming you watching on TV, the music. And now, like Security Mike said, it's popular to pop somebody. It's popular now. And these kids coming back, they coming back to somebody's house. They coming to eat a meal at somebody's house. They hanging out with somebody in the neighborhood who got a house, who paying the rent. They hanging out with you. They may be your relative. They may be your buddy. That social acceptance is there. Understand what I'm saying? So when we really tired, we gonna cut it off. We gonna stop it.
Tune in to all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows all day, every day by downloading the Truth app.
How is it possible for somebody to be found guilty of something and serve no jail time? How is it possible that someone can get a first offense misdemeanor when it comes to marijuana here in the state of Wisconsin and can face up to 6 months in jail, but two men who are convicted of murder get probation? This is not what justice is about. Why does this keep happening, Truth Nation? And why does it always seem like black people die and we don't get the justice that we deserve? How should we react to this? If you commit a crime, you must do the time. If you take somebody's life, you have to pay the cost. I don't care that it was an accident because it does not make sense to me how someone can be murdered and somehow they get no time. Even if you accidentally kill somebody, you are still a murderer, especially when you plead guilty to felony murder. Marijuana will get you more time in jail than killing somebody, especially when it comes to a black man here in America, unfortunately.
Catch Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and the Truth app.
Day 1, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer. Cancer.
By But day one is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day one.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
Breaking news, weather, entertainment, and sports. We have it all here. This is 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Welcome to hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Went on a little bit of a marriage rant, and also I think that people know that it is an old, antiquated institution. It suppresses women. It does, and I think that is why if there's a rebellion against marriage, it's coming from women. Men sometimes believe that having a wife at home takes care of all of the domestic duties that are disempowering for him to exercise. But the modern marriage is the man is doing the domestic duties just like her. He's got to help around the house. He's got to do some of the cooking sometimes. She might have a career. She might have to work long hours. He is required to do the laundry and take care of the kids, because if he does not, she'll leave him and cite that as the reason. Now, you got to keep in mind, like 70% of divorces are initiated by women. I honestly don't think I know. This doesn't mean it doesn't happen, but I don't know any men that have initiated divorce. And most of the men that I know have been divorced or are getting divorced. They could be remarried, but they have been divorced, sometimes multiple times. And their wives initiated those divorces for arbitrary reasons sometimes. Sometimes she just wasn't in it anymore. She wasn't feeling it anymore. Or I don't love him anymore. I don't feel the way I used to. There's no adventure anymore. It's not exciting anymore. It's not fun. We lost whatever it was that we had. Of course you did. Of course you did. That's normal and that's natural. But sometimes it's so blindsiding to people, and it destroys human beings. It does. Love is great. I love love. Love is wonderful. But love can also make you become someone that you're not and make you accept things that you shouldn't. And you call that compromise for the relationship. And you do all of this compromising and they still leave anyway. You cannot keep somebody with you. And it's sad because you see people going to these extraordinary lengths and, oh, my God, what can I do? We got to fix this. And the last refuge, my opinion, again, I've never been married, but I've seen plenty of them. The last refuge of a married couple that's struggling is therapy, because it's usually forced. It's rarely agreed upon. Like, she'll say we need to go to therapy. He won't want to go. He'll say that they need to go to therapy. She doesn't think anything is wrong. And if you're not thoroughly committed to it, to the therapy and to getting the marriage back to, I don't know. I don't think it ever can go back to what it once was, because people's feelings change over time. Once you get to know your partner's routines, and the best I think you can hope for is like a collaboration or a cooperation with another person. Or if the two of you are together because you are building something or you're committed to something bigger than both of you and even bigger than your marriage. Like, you're involved in this because you have this monumental endeavor that you both have dedicated your lives to. Like if you're dedicated to the church, as an example, and I know that we have varying views on religion on this program that oftentimes expose themselves, but two people that have dedicated their lives to God and to church, like, they will stay together because they are involved with one another, not only because of shared beliefs, because they are in it for something that is larger than the two of them. Those marriages tend to work. But far too many people are too self-absorbed to make the kinds of sacrifices and compromises to make another person happy. And I'm not saying that those things don't happen, but statistically, I'm probably better off winning a Powerball. Because what I like and admire about women are also the reasons why they would leave. Their strength, their independence, their intelligence, their inquisitive temperament, right? And the other thing is, if she has guy friends, no, that's not. Sorry, there's a problem with that. And then, of course, I'll hear, oh, you're just insecure. Yep, I'll be that. If I have an issue with her having a guy friend, I'll explain why, if she needs to hear it. Sometimes you resign to the fact because they've known their guy friends for so long. Now, let me also say this. Men and women can be platonic. Absolutely, men and women can be friends without any kind of physical intimacy whatsoever. I thoroughly believe that. I believe there are some men and some women that are both heterosexual and cisgender and attractive people. I believe the two heterosexual, cisgender men and women can absolutely be platonic friends with no romantic crossing of the wires whatsoever, okay? So I believe that. Just not the woman I'm going to marry. It's not for me. Because, let me tell you why. Because I have platonic female friends that I've never slept with. They're my homegirls, right? But if I'm involved with a woman, even if I'm dating a woman, I have never in my life, actually, and I've always had female friends, I've never dated a woman that was okay with me having a female friend that I spent time with, just me and her. You got to wonder why that is. Because women know. Just like they know when they have their male friend that they spend time with. So when a woman does it, it's okay for her to have a male friend. If any man or boyfriend or spouse has a problem with that, well, that's his problem. He's just insecure. He just doesn't trust me. They'll quickly turn it around on us if we have an issue with it. But if a man has a female friend, especially if she's attractive, if she's more attractive than our girlfriend or our spouse, ain't no way no woman is going to allow that friendship to exist. Or the girlfriend wants to come with. Where you guys going? You're going bowling? I'm going to go bowling. Dude, you don't even bowl. I'll bowl with you guys. And all of those things just add up to a very, very difficult situation, which is oftentimes made more complicated when you have children. If that ain't the kiss of death for a broken marriage, that and getting someone's name tattooed on your body. You get somebody's name tattooed on your body, I'm going to do the countdown to when your relationship is going to end. For some reason, those relationships don't work. And someone will be like, oh, we're going to be together forever. And I got a story about. So one of my friends, right? Him and his girlfriend at the time, they were madly in love. She didn't trust him, though. And she thought that, well, if they got each other's names tattooed on each other's bodies, it would be such a deterrent to anyone they would cheat with that would keep them both faithful. That's the most insane thinking I've ever seen in my entire life, because there's plenty of men that will have sex with a woman who's got several different men's names tattooed on her body. That don't matter to me. Dumb. I'm just saying. If her name is Cindy Lou and she got Derek's name on her butt cheek,
Derek getting tapped.
Derek will. I'll be, hey, Derek. Hey, Derek.
Hello there.
I ain't got nothing to do with me. I feel bad for Derek, kind of. But, it is what it is.
Just jiggling.
So they go to the tattoo shop. She tells him to go first because they're going to get tattooed by the same artist. So he takes his shirt off and then gets her name tattooed on his chest, on his pectoral muscle. Not small, like a good 6 or 7 inch tattoo of this woman's name. I would say the woman's name, but some of y'all might know her. Some of y'all definitely know him. Okay, so he gets this tattoo, and he's telling me, he's looking at it. He's like, all right, it is what it is. And then it was her turn. You know what she said when it was her turn to get his name tattooed on her in a very similar place on her like upper breast. You know what she said? I changed my mind. So now my friend has his girlfriend's name tattooed on his chest. She has 0 names tattooed on her. She also was a woman where like he would call her and she wouldn't answer, and it would be, oh, I lost my phone. Oh, I left my phone in the car. Oh, I was at a pool party and I love this is the best excuse I ever heard. She said, because he's like, hey man, I was calling you all night. Like I ain't talked to you in like a whole day. Like, well, I was at a pool party and somebody threw me in the pool and my phone was in the pocket. And so I was with him when he was talking to her, and that's because she got a new phone, whatever. And I said out loud, I was like, that's an Oscar-worthy performance right there. She was at a pool party. What was you doing at a pool party the first? I was at a pool party and somebody threw me in the pool and my cell phone was in my pocket. I was like, that
Hell
right
no.
there, that's some thinking right there. Dumb. Oh, they're so mean, Rick. Women are just... I've never seen anything like it. Men can be mean too, but the way that they can do it and feel 0 regret or 0 remorse and like nothing will change, like her routine won't change, everything will be the same, and she will just have a whole nother man just somewhere. It's so bad. Men are too dumb. We get caught. We get sloppy. We forget our lies. Our friends don't back us up for nothing. Let me tell you how one of my friends got caught cheating, okay? I got a million stories, but here's the best one. So it's 3 of us that hang out. This was a couple years ago. So it was 2 of us that night because our third friend was with his girlfriend, and he's very much married, okay? So our friend who was with his girlfriend, we get spotted by that friend's wife, okay? And she's like, hey, my husband said, because she came to the place where we all hang out, and she caught myself and our other friend walking in. She pulls into the parking lot. She's like, oh, yeah, I knew you guys were hanging out here. There's something I have in the car that I need to give to my husband. Where is he? She told me, or she said, he told me he was going to be with you guys. Is he running late? Is he? And we just, if you're going to tell your wife that you're with me, you probably should tell me that. Because I had no idea that he used us as an excuse. So now here we are, myself and our other friend trying to make, I'm like, oh, no, he, so what had happened was, and then she pulled out the parking lot and drove away. Now, they didn't get divorced. He did end up getting caught. But since then, and this was in 2020, stuff was just starting to open up after COVID, so this was 2021. Since then, his life has been a living hell. The torture and the psychological anguish that this man puts up with every single day is worse than what Dick Cheney did when we caught members of ISIS and waterboarding them. It is worse than that. Every single day, he has to deal with the fact that he got caught. Now, they're not getting divorced because she now has the upper hand and she ain't going to just let him go out and be free. You're going to deal with that torture, that psychological warfare of having a scorned woman still keep you around. I wouldn't wish that on my worst. Oh, good Lord. Every phone call, he got to be on speaker. She's got his passcodes to all his social media, all up in his phone. Like, that's absolutely no way to live. Oh, boy. All right. Vanessa says she is very passionate about that. She's not losing what she has. And then Reggie co-signs that. Reggie says particularly he's not losing his soul nor his peace of mind. Never lose yourself. Part of being in a committed relationship, you are required to get rid of part of yourself. And you can't just be, you can't You got to get rid of a real significant part of yourself in order for the compromises of relationship to work. And everybody knows this. You know what you got to get rid of? Your ego. And that's hard because for some of us, that's really all we got. You have to get rid of a lot of your pride, a lot of your conventional wisdom, and you have to trust a human being blindly. You have to just assume. An example would be, hey, I'm going to the store. Oh, okay, cool. I'll see you when you get back. I mean, what is a store trip? Couple hours? All right, 2 hours passes. 3 hours passes. Did you start calling? Uh-oh, phone going to voicemail. 4 hours pass. 5 hours pass. You ain't heard from your spouse. You better be dead. You better come back in a body bag if I ain't heard from you in 5 hours. But here's the thing. Oh, I was out, and then I went over to my sister's house, and then my phone died. You have to believe all of that, because if you don't believe it, and if you start second-guessing what your significant says every time they speak, you will go insane. You just got to blindly just agree, oh, no, I'm just going to go out with my girls. We're going to have a couple of drinks. I'll be home by like 7:30. That's a reasonable time. We going out for happy hour. We'll be back at 7:30. Cool, enjoy yourself. Yeah, you need a little pocket money? Here you go. I'll give you a little money. Stay out till 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock comes, 9 o'clock comes, 10 o'clock comes, 11 o'clock comes, calling, texting, going to voicemail, text, same response. Well, no, then Susie and Sally came and we decided we want to go get something to eat, and then we had to go over and help Stacy because her baby daddy was tripping. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, huh? And you just got to just believe everything she says, because if you don't, you know what she going to say. Oh, what, so now you don't trust me? No. Then why are you with me? I'm not. Relationship over. I've miscalculated a couple of times because I just can't. I'm too old to be a fool. You know what I mean? That's why at this point, maybe you just have an open relationship and just let them, because you can't stop a human being. You can't. I thought that you could. I thought you could stop somebody from doing something. You can't. And it's not even your fault when they do it. It isn't. You just got to accept that people are going to people no matter what. And now people are peopling more than they've ever peopled before. People just going people. You got to let the people people. Now, you still can like people when people, but you got to let people because you can't stop a person from peopling. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, who sometimes also peoples. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions and themes in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Contract-ready businesses, opportunity seekers, partnership builders, deal closers. Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development, is focused on you. This event puts small businesses like yours in the room with buyers, partners, and mentors who can open doors to bigger opportunities. Join us online December 9th and in person December 10th and 11th at Baird Center in downtown Milwaukee. Whether you're a construction company looking for contracts or a service provider ready to grow, Marketplace Wisconsin is for you. Meet one-on-one with government reps, corporate buyers, and resource providers. Small businesses like yours keep Wisconsin moving forward. Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation is here to propel your growth. So join them for Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development, December 10th and 11th. Register today at marketplacewisconsin.com. That's marketplacewisconsin.com. Presented by WEDC. Let's look forward together.
Are you ready to do some baking? Because it's We Energy's cookie book time. This year's book is packed with dozens of cookie recipes to bake and share. We're sure you'll find a few new favorites. Pick up your copy of this holiday tradition from We Energies at one of our drive-through distribution events. Go to weenergies.com to find an event near you. From all of us at We Energies, we offer you warm wishes for a bright holiday season. We Energies. Energy you can depend on.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. To learn more about how you can take your first steps in buying your forever home, visit associatedbank.com/lending. That's associatedbank.com/lending. Or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan, Chaka Khan. Shaka Khan, let me rock it, Shaka Khan. Let me rock it, that's all I wanna do. Shaka Khan, let me rock it, Shaka Khan. Let me rock it, got a feel for you. Shaka Khan, what you tell me what you wanna do.
Welcome back to the program. We're gonna give away a chance to win $5,000. Even though we just gave away $5,000 to a fella, we're gonna give you another opportunity to be entered to win our Gruber 5K giveaway. Here's the good news. So the next time we do the giveaway, it's going to be on my show. I love giving away the $5,000, but let me let you guys know something. If I call you to tell you 3 months from now that you've won the Gruber 5K, I want you to have several heart attacks and several strokes. I want to hear the excitement. I want you to go crazy. I want you to punch somebody in the face. I want you to go steal a car. Like, I want you to just go nuts, because $5,000 is still a lot of money, everybody. And when people are winning, they just like, oh, yeah. They're not even excited about it. If I won, I can win $32 on a slot machine at Potawatomi, and I immediately go on a face-punching spree. I'm so happy, because I don't really win stuff very often. So if you win the 5Gs, I'm just letting you know. I might decide to not give you the money if you're not excited enough. I want to hear you. And if you're at work, I want you to tell your boss to kiss your ass. I want $5,000, boss. Here, kiss it. Kiss my. So you stay tuned, and we're going to give you an opportunity to win $5,000 courtesy of the Gruber Law Offices. And here's the good news. So that it's going to be in what month this is? And this is November, December, January. So in January, right? That's when we get the money away. So you can rack up all your bills for Christmas, and you're going to win the $5,000 from us, and you'll be able to pay your bills with the money. Or go on a trip. Or buy your side piece a new wardrobe, because, side pieces. You gotta. Al said something that I find interesting. He texted this in and said, now I can't use the exact word that he used. He said, I'm going to paraphrase here. I hope you don't mind, Al, because I can't use your exact words. Al says, if my spouse is seeing a woman, I wouldn't know about it anyway. I don't think I would care as much. Now, is she a lesbian, though? If she's a lesbian, I think that is what the problem is. If she married me to not look like a lesbian, but if she really is a lesbian and she's seeing another woman, you know what? I'm going to tell you what. That's not the end of the world for me. I would be disappointed by the deception, but if I fell in love with a lady and we come to find out later because I catch her cheating with another woman that she is a lesbian, I would say, we can probably work this out. Like, we could go out and chase women together. You know what I mean? Like, I could be married to a lesbian. Totally could. And I would be nice to her girlfriend. We all could have dinner together. And here's the thing. I don't even need to sleep with her girlfriend. Because that whole threesome thing, like, maybe that was a fantasy of mine when I was in my 20s. Ain't nobody got no time for two women. Are you insane?
But what if she likes studs?
Then that fella ain't coming. Well, I guess he can come on over. I guess me and him can kick it. Me and him watch the Packer game and stuff. Me and that
Still
gentleman.
a woman. Still have womanly parts.
We're not getting into this, Rick, because a heterosexual cisgender man that is attracted to a woman that looks like, emulates, walks like, and talks like another man, that to me says something. I can't, if you present yourself like a man, I respect you as such. I cannot be sexually attracted to a woman who intentionally makes herself look as masculine as possible. I like women that are intentional in making themselves look as feminine as possible. And I can't be like, well, that's a woman. Yes, well then would you date a transgender? Well, they look like a woman to me, because I don't see a difference.
It's a big difference.
No, it ain't.
It is.
Hell no, it ain't. Because being a stud is technically transgender. If you're presenting yourself as the opposite sex, you are transforming gender. If you are shaved head, white tank top, sagging pants, and some Timberland boots, and you're presenting like a man, hell to the.
That is not a transgender.
Yeah, it is. That's the definition of it. You are transforming your gender to the gender you were not born. At 100%. Now that's how I see it.
It might be a cross-dresser, but it's not a transgender.
You ain't got to get fancy with the semantics. That's not cross-dressing. A stud is living their life as a masculine being, even though, yes, in fact, they are a woman. Because my thing is, I like beautiful, sensual, curvy women that love being women and love presenting as feminine. I couldn't be attracted to a stud because she doesn't want to look like a woman. She wants to look like one of my homeboys. And I'm not attracted to none of my homeboys. No, thank you. A stud coming up. Hey, Sherwin. Hey, you want to hit? No, sir, I do not, buddy.
What up, Stud Muffin?
Like, nah, we can go watch the game, player. You know what I mean? We can go. You want to go watch the Brewers or something? Yeah, I'll do that. But then after that, you know what I'm saying? What you trying to do? Nothing. Go home. It's cool that, you know, you're a stud, whatever, sir. But I don't know, fella. No way, buddy. No thing. Oh, come on. You don't want a little sample? I do not. No, sir. No, sir. You want to go down and watch some car racing or something? You want to go change a transmission in a Chevy? I'm not. Hell to the no. That's just not for me. Everybody has their own taste. But there's far too many beautiful. Milwaukee it punches above its weight in women. And I know that some of y'all don't believe me, but you don't even got to travel to other places to find beautiful women. There are some incredible. I'm astonished every single day. Even when I leave here and walk through the 3rd Street Market Hall, I sometimes be wanting to buy lunch for strangers. Some very attractive women here in the Midwest, in Milwaukee. Not Chicago, though. No, Chicago women are, I don't know. And definitely no women from Racine. Women in Racine are all studs. That is the gentleman capital of the world. So that's... What? Yeah, I think. So there's... In fact, you know what? I need to stop. Because a listener of ours who lives in Racine, she's actually very pretty. She inboxed me yesterday with her phone number. She said, if you ever in Racine and having any problems, she was like, this is my city. I'll look out for you. I was like, all right, then. All right. I'll put you at the end of the line. June says, I was born at night, but not last night. You know what I was trying to say with that whole saying. But Al, to get back to your original comment, I would be less offended if my wife was sleeping with another woman than if she was sleeping with another man. I'm being honest with you. If I found out that if I'm married and my wife is involved with another woman, I would just want to know if she's a lesbian. I'm not automatically leaving her, but if she slept with another man, I would never forgive her. You can't. You guys know that you can't forgive a cheater. You can't. You shouldn't. Some of you do. Some of you you're very Christian and you're very forgiving. And maybe the person that you forgave, they learned their lesson and they only did it once and they'll never do it again. And I don't know, they were feeling vulnerable or maybe they drank too much that night or whatever the excuse is. I appreciate individuals whose hearts are so forgiving because we need people like you in our society. I am just not one of them. I had a girlfriend once. Caught her with another fella. I was like, look at this scene here. I didn't catch them in the act, but they were in close proximity to one another. Like, I didn't see it, but I just assumed. I didn't even get mad. I was just like, well, I guess we're not going to be talking anymore after this. If you have any things in my house that you need to get, you can come get them. And it was just an orderly transition. I was like, all right. I didn't ask for reasons or excuses. I didn't ask, what did I do wrong? I ain't do nothing wrong. It's just, it happens sometimes. And I was also much, much younger and I guess more carefree about such things. I mean, yeah, I was disappointed, but I was just like, what I'm going to do, right? What, I'm going to get mad at her? Nah, just, it is what it is. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Oh, wait a minute. No. Come on, Rick. Let's give him the 5,000 Gruber dollars. Give him some 5,000s.
One call, that's all.
Now's your chance to be our one call, that's all Gruber $5,000 giveaway entry for the day. That's right. We're going to enter you to win $5,000 courtesy of Gruber Law Offices. We'll take caller number 6 at 833-212-1017. You'll be entered to win $5,000 courtesy of the award-winning 1017 The Truth and Gruber Law Offices. Again, call number 6 at 833-212-1017. Remember, if you or a loved one has been injured in an accident, contact Gruber Law Offices today. You can visit them online at gruber-law.com. For official contest rules, you can go to 1017thetruth.com. Call number 6 at 833-212-1017 wins $5,000. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ready to hit the road in your new car? At Brewery Credit Union, we make it easy with affordable payment options on auto loans designed to fit your budget. Whether it's a brand new ride or the perfect used vehicle, we'll help you get behind the wheel faster. With flexible terms, quick approvals, and personalized service you can trust. Don't wait. Start your journey today. Apply online at brewerycu.com or visit us at Brewery Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Here is Tory Lowe with his truth.
It's official. July 5th is Tory Lowe Day in the city of Milwaukee and Milwaukee County. I am humbled to receive this proclamation from the mayor's office and the county executive's office. To me, this day represents life and purpose and being driven by passion to serve and empower others. It's about being unselfish and answering the call to help those in need and living life with intention. Despite challenges and obstacles, I remain focused on creating real change in my community, county, and state. This recognition isn't about me. It's about the collective efforts of those who supported me along the way. It's about the resilience and determination that defines my journey. As we celebrate this day, I want to leave you with a challenge. What will you do to create positive change in your community? Will you get out and volunteer, mentor, or simply be a support to a friend? Whatever it is, I urge you to take action. Together we can build a brighter future, one that's filled with hope, opportunity, and empowerment. I am honored to serve, and I am grateful for this recognition. Let's continue to uplift and support one another, striving for a better tomorrow. So what does Tory Lowe Day mean to me? Let's make a difference together. Let's stay committed to our purpose and keep pushing forward even in the face of adversity. I'm excited to see the impact we can make, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve alongside such an amazing community. Now, my question is, what does Tory Lowe Day mean to you?
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Listen to The Tory Lowe Show weekdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Congratulations, Titus. You are our Gruber 5K entry giveaway winner for the day. Hello, who is this?
Hello, this is Roberto.
Hey, Roberto, what's going on, dog?
Yeah, just graduated anger management and enjoying my day for the day. Yep, just got out of the class right now.
Congratulations, Roberto. The last thing that we want to do is upset you, but if you were calling to be the Gruber 5K entry, we've already got it. I'm sorry. Don't get mad.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right, man. I was hoping, man.
We'll do it again tomorrow.
All right,
just keep listening.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Love the things you guys are doing out there. I appreciate it out there.
All right. Thank you. Now, I said, this Roberto, I just graduated from anger management class. I bet Roberto, he used to kick everybody's ass. He said, I graduated. Now I only slap people. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, how are you now?
I'm fine. I'm on the air?
Yes.
Okay. Well, this has nothing to do with any subject you're talking about, but I wanted to give you your flowers real quick on something that you kind of did for me by something you said on the air.
Oh.
You, a while back, you promoted Axe Housing, and I would listen, like, man, what's this? So I went on and did it. In August, I passed the class, and I closed on my house October 31st, and I owe that to you, because if you weren't promoting that on the air, I would have never took that step to home ownership. So now me and my kids have our own home, and I kind of owe that to you.
So, first of all, congratulations, brother. We are so proud of you and happy for you, and you have changed your life and the trajectory of your life by now becoming a homeowner. But you're the one that did the work. You were the one that made the sacrifices and did everything you needed to do, and you stayed disciplined, and you got it done. While I appreciate you giving some credit to me, I'm giving all that credit back to you times 10. Thank you so much, brother. We appreciate you.
I appreciate that.
All right, now make sure you cut your grass and shovel your snow. Now, you're a homeowner now.
Yeah, sure. You have a good one.
All right, you too. Oh, see there? That's why I do this. People become homeowners now. Now you can tell kids to get the hell off his lawn. You know what he can do now as a homeowner? He can be ass out, taking out his garbage and waving the cars passing by, because that's his house. Oh, look at that. See there? That's why the two of you, the EMT twins, y'all need to buy houses now. Zach, you want to buy a house? Smartest thing I ever did. Graduating from college, finally listening to myself instead of listening to other people, and buying a house, I think, are the smartest things that I've done. And Zach, you still young. Bought my house when I was 29. Still in the same house. I'm 50 years old. That mortgage, it's almost paid off. I can't even tell you what that feels like. Like every month, I see it go down. Every month, I just want to, oh God, it feels I'm so close. I'm almost there. I'm almost.
Boing, boing, boing.
I'm so close. If I just keep going, it'll be paid off. I'm almost. I need to chill. Sometimes my mother listens to the show. She just, she'll tune in randomly when I'm doing something like that, and then she won't listen for 6 months, right? And then she'll tune in again, and I'll be doing something similar. She's like, well, I guess I'm done listening to him for a while.
My son's a freak. All right.
She knows.
Wait, what?
No, I'm sure come on. 50 years old. Give me a break. So we have dinner on Sunday. So my brother, who is considerably younger than me, so he grew up different because my parents were when you have the first child parents, you know this. Your first child, you're like overprotective and whatever. By the second child, you just kind of don't really care. You just kind of let them roam the wilderness, and they'll come back eventually for food and when they get sleepy.
Did you just call him a stray cat?
Kinda. I had a curfew. I had to be home at 11 o'clock till I was 18. My brother just he'll come back eventually. What the hell? So I don't even want to bring this up. He talks more openly. Like, I'm still embarrassed, even at 50, to talk about certain things in front of my parents. My brother is not. Like, he'll talk about sex just like openly at the dinner table, and I can't. It's horrible. But I think that's indicative of, Zach said it's generational. I can't talk about humping in front of my parents. Hey, no way. I don't. What? Yuck. I can't. I don't feel right. Now, clearly, we all know how all of us got here. But that's as far as the discussion needs to go. You don't need to talk about people actually. It's not necessary to talk about that because some things should go unsaid. All right, look at all these damn divorced people in the chat. See, that's the thing. Like, when these divorced people talk about, if I ever get married again, like, why would you? Marriage should be a one and done. You tried it, it didn't work, it ain't for you. Kind of like, I don't know, I had pickle pizza last night. You know Stenny's has got pickle pizza? I love dill pickle pizza. Some people don't like pickle pizza. If you don't like pickle pizza, you try it, don't eat it again. It's not for you. It's very simple. People are like, well, I don't like pickle pizza, but I guess I'll try another one. Oh, that one didn't work out either. Guess I'll spend $35 and get another. Well, I guess, no, if it doesn't, unless it is some deep-needed need of yours to get married because, I don't know, everybody in your family is married, there's a lot of social pressure to get married, all of your friends are married, but that, I don't think that's a reason to because you're getting married for external reasons. I got to really love a lady a lot. But I don't know no, it's not that, because if I love her that much, I don't want to marry her, because then I may love her less. I want to just love her and just let her live her life like a butterfly. And just because if she's destined to be mine, she'll always come back. I got a situation right now where I met a lady. I was coming out of a relationship in 2005, and it was a tough one. So the first weekend that I went out after that relationship was over and it dissolved, I met, I want to say her name, but y'all go right to Facebook and look her up. She got a very super generic black girl name. So now maybe you wouldn't find her. I don't know. So the first weekend that I went out, because my friend was like, dude, you got to get out again, man. You got to get out here in these streets. And I had just turned 30, so I was young. So she was the first woman that I met that first weekend that my friends took me out after my breakup dissolved, after my relationship dissolved and we were broken up, right? So I met her, and she was such a breath of fresh air. And we met at a club called CO2. Way long close. It was CO2, then it was Club Envy, then it was Jinx. I don't know what the hell it is now. So long time ago, I met her at CO2. So she and I, we went to the movies. We went on 3 dates. We went to the movies at Mayfair. We went to, it's a restaurant called Heidelman's. Hell, that's closed too. It used to be a Heidelman's restaurant over at Mayfair. We went to Heidelman's. That's when I really knew that I liked her, because we was at Heidelman's, right? So we was in a restaurant and we ate, and we're walking out of the restaurant. We walking back to my car, because I drove, you see. As we're walking out, Heidelman had these big windows, and people could sit in booths in the window, right? So as we're walking out of Heidelman, as we're walking toward my car, it was this old couple that was sitting in the window, and they were staring at us, just like glaring at us. We don't know what the hell they were staring at, but they were staring. And she walked right up to the window and she pounded on the glass. You ever see people pounding on the glass at a hockey game? I thought she was going to break the glass. She's like, oh, if they want to stare at something, here, stay at this. Boom, boom, boom. It was so funny. I was like, oh, she cares about me. And then what did we do on our third date? I think we went out. But then something happened where she just like disappeared. She vanished, right? She's gone. We lost touch. She and I recently reconnected. So in that amount of time, she got married, and lo and behold, she got divorced. And we recently reconnected, and we are now making up for lost time. So y'all keep your fingers crossed for your boy. I'll probably screw it up. You know what hurts relationships? This line of work. Linda don't quite understand that. When I've had several girlfriends since I've been doing this line of work, women hear other women call in and are comfortable with me and are familiar with me, and women hate it. That's part of that is insecurity. But the other thing is I get to tell my side of the story, and I come to find out some women don't like that. When I tell my side of the story, when I tell my perspective of life, a girlfriend or a woman that I'm involved with, whoa, I don't like hearing you tell your truth, Sherwin. I've actually had arguments and fights. Those of us that are in this industry know. So Carrie was scared because Carrie Noni, I thought she should have had a show a long time ago, but she was nervous because she knows the impact sharing your life can have on your partner, because you inadvertently bring your partner to the radio with you. You bring your partner and your experiences with them to your conversation that you have with your audience. And I respect other people's privacy. I do, and I could see why that would be upsetting to me. I don't think I would ever date a woman that does radio, mostly because radio people talk too damn much. They don't ever shut up. Always talking all the time. Nobody want to hear you talk all the time. I couldn't date no radio woman. Mouth's too big. Always running their mouth about stuff. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. The Milwaukee Panthers hit the road as they head to South Carolina to take on the Wooford Terriers.
McKee for three, ring it up. They do it again out of a timeout. AJ from downtown. McKee buries it, 71-66. Panthers down a handful.
Scott Warris has the coverage Saturday starting at 12:30 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 1 o'clock.
Tracy, going back to the process, and as it relates specifically to the partnership that Old National Bank has with Housing Resource, what does the process consist of when coming through this program?
It's a referral process. We work with clients that first-time homeowners that may not have the counseling that they need. They may not have the equity, the down payment that they need. So we refer them to our partners like HRI or Housing Resources, Inc., because we recognize that those organizations, they have the resources, they have the tutorial documentation and all of those things that are necessary for first-time homeowners that don't know the process, may not know the system, may not know what's required for home ownership. So working with Housing Resources, Inc. and other partnerships that we have like through WIDA has been very, very advantageous, not only for us, but also the organizations, but also for the community.
Looking for a delicious meal without breaking the bank? Cousin Subs has you covered. Our $10 meal deal gives you a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub piled high with fresh hand-sliced ingredients, crisp veggies, and all your favorite toppings. Add a bag of chips or regular fries, a fountain drink, and a cookie, all for just $10. This deal's available online or through the Cousins app only. And you can enjoy your meal at home, at work, or delivered straight to your door, hot and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better. Available at participating locations. Offer subject to change.
June 2022, southeast Wisconsin. A distracted driver killed 3 people, and in that single moment, it affected many more. The grandmother.
And my heart sank. Their lives are forever lost.
Pastor.
That was the most difficult day of my entire ministry.
Sister.
I lost my best friend.
Distracted driving affects everyone. Buckle up, phone down. Brought to you by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
Students learn best when they can put their knowledge into action. JA's Stock Market Challenge teaches high school students how to analyze stocks and how current events impact value. Thanks to RSM, our partner that makes this program possible. It's just one of many ways JA brings learning to life. To learn more, visit wisconsin.ja.org.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Calling all black-owned business owners and entrepreneurs. Are you looking to share your story and grow your reach? Well, we've teamed up with Associated Bank for our Black-Owned Business Give Back. Each quarter, 4 lucky business owners will win an opportunity to spotlight their brand and their journey on 1017 The Truth. To sign up for your Black Business Spotlight interview, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That is blackbusinessgiveback.com. Let's rebuild our community through exposure on the truth. For official contest rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, member FDIC. What have we learned today? Learned that marriage is cool if you can do it. If you can make the compromises and if you can stay committed to the work, because it's constant work. And I guess you have to accept the fact that, maybe some of the passion will fade away. Maybe it won't be as exciting as it once was, but then maybe that's where you focus on the partnership. Now, here's the other thing. I believe that people who have never been married have more experience on relationships than people that have been married for 20 and 30 years. You can't take their advice. Marriage advice is dumb. If somebody's been married for 40 years, the only advice they can give you is how they remain married to their spouse. It's not universal. A man can't act in a universal way and keep every single woman on the planet happy. A man has to be a fit for whatever that unique woman wants in her husband. There's no way that a man can be where it's universal, where he will stay married for the rest of his life. Quite honestly, a man can be everything that a woman wants, and she still can leave him at any time for any reason or for no reason at all. So marriage advice is pointless. I think that's part of the problem. We take what works for other people and we think it applies and can apply to us. I can't take another man's advice because I'm not him. He and I are not the same. We didn't grow up the same. We have different environments. We might have a different level of education. Hell, he might have voted for Trump. I can't take no advice from him. And the advice is general. Just, I don't know, don't cheat, don't lie. I don't know. Don't take out a secret life insurance policy on them. The rules are probably the same, but I don't know. Is anybody here even married? Dr. Ken is. Who else? Nope, that's it. Dr. Ken, the only one that's married. That can't be right. Kyle is going to get married. He's getting married. When is he getting married? Next year sometime? Zach isn't. Ricky isn't. Rhea isn't. No, Homer's married. Dame Elsie isn't. Bailey isn't. Am I over here telling people's business? Is that private information if I'm telling whether somebody is married or not? A lot of black people aren't married. A lot of black women aren't married. Fair enough. I'm not mad at y'all ladies. I am not. I don't look at you differently. I don't look at you as less than, because you guys can go ahead and blame how horrible we are as black men. Fine. I don't even get mad at it because I see right through it. And I'm not saying that women who are unmarried use this as an excuse. It's just something that I've heard quite a bit. If no one wants me, it's really easy for me to say that there are no good women out here. If I am unwanted, I just blame all the people that don't want me and make them the bad girl. Oh, it's Milwaukee. It ain't no good people out here. That's a whole lot. There's some fantastic women in Milwaukee. I think there's still women in this city that have the kind of values that I appreciate and admire in a woman. And I can appreciate and admire her values and not have to marry her. It's almost better that way because then there's no There's no requirements. There's no rules. There's no expectations. Marriage comes with a pretty sturdy set of boundaries. It's a bunch of stuff you just can't do anymore. And if you think that you can do all the things as a married person that you can do when you were single, then you're going to have a real rude awakening. Unless you go into it with your partner saying, look, here's what my life is. I'm going to continue to do all these things. I'm going to continue to go to these places. I'm going to still continue to hang out with these people. And I think at this age, that makes the most sense. Because I can't marry a 50-year-old woman and tell her all the stuff she can no longer do. She's 50. She has a whole life. She's got friends. She's got hobbies. I'm not trying to interrupt all that. And maybe I'll get to be friends with her friends. And maybe whatever her hobbies are, they'll be my hobbies too. I'm not going to bank on it. Because I'm not also going to want to change my life and my lifestyle to accommodate her. If we love each other, that's great. She has her house. I have mine. We can take turns. Like, oh, I'll be at your house this week. Oh, next week you can come to my house. Or there can be a day where like, hey, I got a real early day tomorrow. You know, let's hang out this evening, but I'm going to go home at 7 o'clock because I want to go to bed early and I want to go back to my house. Perfectly fine. Because you know how people have like a she shed or a man cave? That's the same thing. I just want my own house. I don't want to have a separate house within the house. I want my own address with my own zip code where I can get in my car and go there. Now, of course, my wife could have a key. She better call first. You don't just show up. Just let me know that you're coming. So, you know what I mean? I can get the house ready for you. You don't have to just show up at my house. I would never just show up at my wife's house. Yeah, I would. I would break into my wife's house, actually. I get there and I forgot my key. No. That's not. No, you're not keeping me out of your house. But I think that that's perfectly reasonable. And what if that is the key to marriage? Having your own separate dwelling. Because if you love each other, it shouldn't matter that one of you lives in Racine and the other one lives in Mequon. Right? Love will keep you together. So there you go. We also learned that J.D. Vance is probably going to marry Erica Kirk, and it was real disrespectful for J.D. Vance to tell his Hindu wife that she needs to convert to Christianity. I think he is sowing the seeds for their divorce because MAGA will not elect a J.D. Vance to the presidency with a Hindu Indian wife because America has told us what it is and what it is not. It is still a country that does not want to elect a woman that is Indian. I don't think it would elect a man who's married to an Indian woman. Thank you for listening. Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace is up next.
Hey, think you're the ultimate trivia champ?
Well, prove it against us, your favorite WTMJ host.
It's free to play. All we ask is bring a new unwrapped toy to benefit Capco's